everybody. Welcome to the Monday Sound Stream. Thank you, Jamie's World, for renewing your membership. We are back with another adventure of all kinds of stuff because there was a good amount of news last week, and we're here to recap it, talk about it, discuss it, have a good time. And you can also watch me mess with the poster frame while my co-hosts here introduce themselves with their little blinky icons. So, Kaus, you're up first this week because I feel like doing something different. How's it going?
Hey, it's going better. Let's just say I found some lifelines here that I'm just gonna have to, with my own IRL stuff I have to do. So,
Yeah.
silver linings. That's good. Also, I'm playing Tekken, which will might as well mention now that
Are you having
I'm playing
fun with Tekken? Are you having fun with it?
I have fun when I play the actual core game.
Yeah. But
Everything else that he throws at you, like microtransactions, like I'm not playing. Yu-Gi-Oh does this. I'm not playing Master Duel.
Yu-Gi-Oh is admittedly free.
And you could even get the premium pass for free as long as you have enough gems that you saved up from just doing missions. So, but Tekken's like, nope, only hard-earned cash.
And that's why Tekken sucks. Ish. Anyways, Ryan, how you doing this week?
How's your room? How are you not drowned in that? Especially that in part 2, that whole how do you move around that in your main backdrop in your videos
Not well.
without tripping?
Not well.
Without tripping.
That's actually one of my main goals for the year is to kind of tear apart that back room and redo it and make it more usable. And make the shelves better so there's not just like an Ultraman mob. I want to redo that whole thing.
Are you? Because I recommend these clear stand risers. They're like only $15. I usually get them from Amazon. They're really good.
I've been looking at those, and I'm like, I'm gonna it's gonna be because this is the reason why I didn't do a collection tour for so long is because that room.
Which ironically is your backdrop for most of your videos.
Yeah. And that's the other problem, right? Like, I can't just spend, 3 months tearing apart that room and redoing things, because that's where I film my stuff. So...
If you were to remake that room specifically to be a backdrop for a video, what would be, the main franchises you want to have behind you?
I would mix it up a little bit so it doesn't just look like I'm an 80s toy nerd. Because it's a little too 80s back there. But I would mix it. I would have, a shelf of Marvel, I'd have a shelf of G.I. Joe, a shelf of, Masters, and just a little bit of everything, right?
If you were to have to sacrifice one shelf to replace one in that franchise, what shelf will you sacrifice to replace one in that franchise?
Star Wars.
And what we I figured
the quickness you said that.
I mean,
I
just bought 8 Black Series over the weekend.
Yeah.
Between my comic shop and Amazon, I got 8 Black Series for about $12. $12 a piece. I like Star Wars figures. I just don't like paying $25 a piece for them. So that's what I realized this weekend.
Yeah, it's ironic because I feel like Marvel, it feels like Marvel Legends are getting a lot better in terms of their value more recently versus Star Wars. It feels like the Marvel team is sucking off the budget of the Star Wars team.
I think the Disney license is sucking off the budget of the Star Wars team. Because
both are Disney.
I got the Ahsoka series Ahsoka, and she's got thigh swivels and butterfly shoulders, and I look at Hera and I'm like, why do you have nothing? Master Ben says which Black Series? Okay, so I got Wicket. The Ewok.
Is he causing terror again?
He is a little terrorizing. I mean, he's so tiny for a $25 figure. Wicket, Admiral Akbar, the original trilogy version, because I only had the sequel trilogy one. I just got the Chewbacca in chains from the Jabba's palace stuff.
The first entry kink level Chewbacca.
Exactly. So I got him because I want to put him in my Jabba's Palace display, because actually that's the display I have. So there's that. So that's the third one is Chewbacca. I got Saw Gerrera because I only paid I think I paid $10 for Saw Gerrera, which I was like, yeah, because it's Forrest Whitaker. And then from the Ahsoka series, I got Ramona Flowers. Hera. I got Rosario Dawson, Ahsoka. I got Morgan Elsbeth and David Tennant. Sorry, the 10th Doctor. I mean, Hu Yang.
Oh, you mean Kilgrave?
I mean Kilgrave. Yeah, sure.
Scrooge McDuck.
I mean, look, I was just going with my favorite things first. I was like David Tennant, then his roles. But yeah, no, I definitely like the Wicket figure. MJ Klein says, "Would recommend keeping Wicket, the Ewoks cute." I think it's great because the thing is, like, my thought process was, I'm gonna buy one Ewok and it's gonna be Wicket. I'm not gonna buy all the others. So
look, people complain about the Ewoks, but remind you that the Ewoks are terrorists. They will murder you with their rocks and rocks and tree trunks.
They're two-eyed, round and fuzzy people eaters, as opposed to one-eyed, one-horned, blind purple people eater. Anyway, that I didn't know Oswald was in Dreamlight Valley, but now I'm going to look that up later. But we should do a roll call of everybody that's in our text
welcome
that I can't actually properly
Master Ben.
There we go. Yeah.
Master Ben, Zeltrex, Muteki T, SJ4 Jason, Kamen Manor, Jamie's World, Spin Dash, MJ Klein, Peltrex, LVH, Mr. Tanuki, Jeremy Carr.
Oh.
Did he? Oh. Ryan disappeared.
Oh. I thought that was me who dropped. Because I remember last week, I was the one dropping.
He said Jeremy Carr last, right?
Yeah.
Master Ben 95. I'm just going to keep going. Muteki T, SSJ for Jason, MJ Klein, Logic Blaster. Thank you for the nice compliment, Logic Blaster. Cameron Metter, Peacemaker, Muteki, Master Ben, Jamie's World, Targos Kaiju from Krypton, who's happy to be here for Superman. I'm tired to talk about Superman. Paul Trax, I think that was almost everybody. Oh. Andreas.
Hello,
you're back.
Yeah.
Okay, Discord blurt me for a second.
Okay, cool. I finished the roll call.
I thought it was me, Brian. It happened to me last week.
Yeah, no, because I said everybody's names, and then I was like, silence, and like, shut up, you there? That's how I was muted for a second, and I checked back. The Discord, Discord's Discording. Yay.
I guess Discord's picking you to pick on this week. Last week was me.
Hey, as long as it's not me.
If you can kick off the Discord, you can still talk to the chat.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah. I'm not blinked out of existence. Jamie's World asked if anyone's excited for the new Doctor Who this weekend. I'm so excited. I'm watching too many episodes in one day.
How are you feeling the Jodie Whittaker run so far?
The Jodie Whittaker run. God, how do I say this nicely? The Jodie Whittaker run has the same problems as the Captain Marvel movie. Boy, do I really like the cast, but boy, do they not give them the best material to work with.
Yeah. Same.
It's that unfortunate trend of, like, we put a woman in the lead, and then we gave her mid-scripts, and it's like, come on.
Really, because funny effect, this weekend, because Free Comic Book Day, we'll probably talk about eventually. I decided I played Midnight Suns. I haven't played Midnight Suns.
Yay!
I had the game for this Black Friday. And man, that game is really good. I was not expecting to really like the game. I was like engrossed in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But like it really playing. Like I'll like kind of give like a quick thoughts. But like I think what I like about Midnight Suns versus like say Crystal Dynamics Avengers is I feel like my problem with the Crystal Dynamics Avengers, I feel like they were too busy trying to set up this new universe. Where I feel like Midnight Suns could easily just be an event in the comics, and you feel like you don't like. It doesn't like try to reintroduce everybody for you, and just like here's the Midnight Suns, and you want to get to know them, talk to them. But it's like playing through the game is like how really good the writing is, and like really reminds me that like, oh yeah, no, Carol. I feel like the problem with the MCU with Carol is I feel like they kind of forget what made her likable. Is she's kind of very casual.
Yeah,
like
which I think they finally got in the Marvels. I feel like the Marvels finally gave us actual Carol and not trying to be too stoic or trying to be too snarky. Where she was in the Avengers and in her first movie.
Yeah, because the first movie, I feel like because they had the whole amnesia plot line, they kind of forget.
Infinity War was happy with the Midnight Suns love. I love that game so much. I put
I know that I was not something like that game so much. It's like the gameplay, the writing. It's all great. It's all.
Yeah, that's a great game. If you have Muteki says, did you get the DLC?
Not yet. I just got the game. It's too expensive.
I love that game so much. I put some because the thing that they should have played up more in the marketing is the fact you get to just hang out with the characters.
It's a Fire Emblem game. It's a Fire
Emblem game. Yeah, it's not like.
I feel like the marketing for me to focus too much on the grit and edge, which doesn't really exist in the game, honestly.
And they focus too much on like the combat when that's only like 40% of the game.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Cameron Mitter said thoughts on X-Men 97 episode 8. Great, fantastic. Can't wait to see more. My boy Nightcrawler got some love.
Oh man,
that's the short version because I don't want to go. I will talk for hours about this.
That fight scene with Logan and Kurt, so good. That scene with
every episode of this show has a scene. Hey, welcome Kaiju number 1954. You haven't missed much. We're just kind of chatting. Kaiju 1954 says also thank you for the Taka recommendation last week. I've been enjoying it so far.
Great, that's great to see here.
Glad to hear it.
But still, man, cause it really should, cause man, I finished. Me and my friends finished rewatching X-Men 92. Oh man, what happened to that animation?
I tell you, season 5 was so bad. You need a continuation just to redeem the ending of that show, right?
No, because I was like, I just go like, it wasn't you just there's a dip in quality. There was like, did they get a different character designer? Because it feels like everybody got like this guy of Disney. They all kind of look like Disney characters.
They had an entirely new art team.
Yeah, like everybody moves so weird, and they have this like kind of Disney softness, I kind of call it, where like I look at them, they look so like I look like I'm watching a Disney one of the Disney afternoon shows, and it doesn't fit with the previous seasons. And man, that last episode, Sunfire's face was half flesh, and it looked gross.
Yep.
I don't think Graduation Day is a bad episode. Okay, I think the story was good. It shouldn't have been one episode.
My favorite episodes of season 5 is the Captain America one and the Sinister Batman.
Oh yeah,
those two are like everything else. I'm like I could just take or leave, you know. But that Cap episode is fun.
Honestly, my favorite is probably the season premiere with the
Phalanx
Phalanx. I like that. That felt like still a season 4 episode, just a little smaller, lesser budget. Budget. It was this kind of funny seeing Mr. Sinister team up with everybody.
On that note,
I remember that.
Because I mean, we could talk about X-Men for hours, and I could, but I have to watch Doctor Who tonight, so we need to get on stay on track. Speaking of Doctor Who, for everyone wondering, my mom and I have been watching like crazy. We've been doing like 3 episodes a night because we're trying to catch up before the new season, right? So here's where we're at. We have 2 episodes left of Series 12, which is a 2-parter. Then the special, the holiday special for Series 12. Then the 6 episodes of Series 13. And then the 3 specials after that. And then we have caught up on Doctor Who in basically 5 months. I haven't watched a show that fast in a long, long time.
I know you haven't finished Jodie's run, but do you say you have a favorite Doctor? At least of the modern era? Of the modern era. Like, from Eccleston to Jodie.
Matt Smith. I really like Matt Smith's like lovable ADHD nightmare doctor. I like Jodie Whittaker a lot, though. I would say.
I just dropped.
Sorry, what did you say?
Chaos got dropped this time.
Oh, you got dropped this time?
Yeah. Oh. Because Discord's coming for all of us.
Yep.
I think for me.
Anyways, the thing is, I can say that like I like Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, and I like her her little gang of companions. It's just like every episode's a bit of a toss up whether it's going to be good or bad, and that's kind of like it's making it harder to binge through. But
I think for me, even though his first season wasn't the best, I think it's to Capaldi. I feel like Capaldi has some great stories.
Capaldi was great. I thought Capaldi was pretty good too. I like Tennant as well, but I don't know. Matt Smith's the one that I keep going back to in my head. It's the one I keep searching up gifs of the most is Matt Smith. So. I'm very looking forward to Shooty Gatwa though. He has potential. He has potential to become my new favorite.
Yeah, just from the Church of Ruby Rose area and the
free comic book day Doctor Who comic. I'm already like I really like this guy.
I didn't read that still.
Jeremy Carr says, "Don't forget to like and subscribe. That like to watching ratio is sus." Yes, please hit the like button. It takes like 1 second. Really helps.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was about to say that until
I said that while Discord booted me out.
Master Ben says, "Have I bought any Who toys?" I saw 2 of the 3 3/4-inch figures.
Don't buy those. Don't buy those. Those are bad.
I saw
those
them
are
at my
really
comic
bad.
shop. They were on sale, and I was like, "These look awful." No, thank you.
The character option, the 5-inch, the 6 or 5,
Yeah.
I forget what scale, but they're like, well, they aren't great. They're definitely acceptable versus those 3/4-inch figures.
I need to get myself the sonic screwdriver though. I need the sonics. I need to get a sonic screwdriver.
Which one?
I'm going for the Matt Smith one. Whether it's the Matt Smith
Sash
or the
Capaldi?
Capaldi, yeah, that 11th, early 12th Doctor one with the little pop out prongs. I love that one. So, all right. So on that, that's the Doctor Who update. Okay, let's run through this real quick. I'm going to talk about TV shows that finished up that I watched in the last week. Okay, Knuckles was great. Anybody complaining there's too many humans and not enough characters? It has like the same ratio as any of the movies. And I was fully invested in Wade Whipple's bowling tournament subplot or main plot or whatever you want to call it. I loved it. I'm also a Sonic Movie 2 wedding scene defender, so.
Yeah, here's the thing with
I may not be the
show
best judge of that, but you know.
Here's the thing with the show focusing Wade is like I don't mind it as long as they develop his character moving along, and that's what they did.
Oh yeah, he went on the whole arc. He went
series.
from like a complete loser to somebody who actually was like competent and going. It was fun. I had a blast. And Carrie Elways plays like the craziest character in this, and Stockard Channing.
I really want to watch it.
Stockard Channing and Carrie Elways are like a divorced couple. It's amazing. Okay, I love actors that have not like. I love what you would call B tier actors and stuff or whatnot. But I really liked both of them in this show because it kind of like just elevated for me like the whole material.
What did you give episode 4?
Episode 4 was beautiful.
Michael Bolton, everyone.
Yeah, I know. God, they did a whole thing.
That whole musical is like one of my favorite parts of the show. It's so good.
And the thing is to remember too, it is a comedy show. At the end of the day, it is meant to be a family friendly comedy show. But I found a lot to enjoy with the comedy. Like again, Carrie Elways and Stockard Channing were like highlights for me.
I mean, also it's an in between show. Like unlike say the MCU Disney Plus shows, this is not like necessary to go into Sonic 3 knowing. Like no, this is like
if you watch the first episode and don't like it, you just don't watch the rest of the show. You know, like you'll know by the first episode if you're gonna like it or not. First one or 2. And if you don't like it, you don't have to worry about watching. It's not like setting up Sonic 3 or anything.
No, it's very self-contained, and I think that's
there is one
smart
piece
for them
of
to
lore
do.
drop though with one of the villains that just made me laugh. So
with the buyer or the gun agents?
It was with the one of the British lady of the 2 villains.
Oh yeah, the gun agent. Yeah, one of the gun agents. Yeah.
It's minor spoilers, but she references something from the movies, and it's one of my favorite things from the movies, and therefore I just really enjoyed that nod. Anyways. Let's see. Kaiju 954 says, anybody got free comic book day hauls? We did. I think both me and Ryan posted in the Discord. So you can check out our Discord
Comic Center.
and link below in Comic Central. You can go check out our hauls. I got a lot of books on half off.
Yeah, and watch us destroy our wallets.
Yeah. It was funny. I found a Daredevil omnibus. Hey, come on, Jojo. I had also hi Anima Gemini. Tell me if that was right or not. Let's see. Andrea says you can see the moments they cut corners Knuckles show when you hear Knuckles without showing his body. Yeah, that's just a budget thing. You know, that's just the nature of being a TV show. But still,
I think some people really over-exaggerated with Knuckles not being.
People over-exaggerated, like, oh, he's barely in it. Like, no, he's in it. It's just he costs a lot of money. So let's see. Oh, cool. I got the name right. Awesome. The thing was, like, for Free Comic Book Day, my shop had, I guess this is not really intro time. I'm just going to take that off. Let's see. So, there is a Shadow reference. That's right, Infinite. My comic shop had 50% off omnibuses, and I spotted this Daredevil by Charles Soule omnibus, and it didn't have its dust jacket, so it didn't have a price on it. And I talked to the owner, and I was like, so how much
How much was this? Yeah.
And he was like, oh, let me look it up. He looked at the cover price, and he's like, okay, it was a cover price of $100. But it doesn't have the dust jacket, so I'll give it to you for $40. And I was like, deal. So that was my deal. That was my best deal, I think, was getting a Daredevil omnibus for $40.
Sort of related, but because I got pick up some figures before Pre-Comic Day because I was out about. God, I keep forgetting how good G.I. Joe Classify is because picking up the retro card Duke, it's like, man, he's a great figure. And also Metalhead won the new figures this year.
Yeah, he is. I still don't.
Yeah, he's so wild. I love his backpack of missiles is great.
Yeah.
Also, like, because I found the Jax, two of the three Jax Sega figures was annoying. But like, seeing how Jax is able to make a fully articulated $10 action figure of the werewolf with butterfly joints, double joint elbows, the diaphragm joint, double joint knees, and ankle pivots goes like, Hasbro, what are you doing wrong?
Yeah. Let's see. Mr. Doogie says, no omnibus deals at the shops I hit, but I got a Marvel Legends Laura Kinney Wolverine for 40% off. That is a win. Kamen Jojo says you can get a custom dust jacket for that online. I will look into that, actually. That's a good idea. Satargo says, best thing I got for Free Comic Day was a reproduction of Rom the Space Knight. I was supposed to get it last year, but my comic shop forgot to pull it for me. Oh, I'm glad you got that. That was the #1, like, the facsimile edition. That's pretty nice. Let's see. And MJ Klein says, speaking of comics, I now have the Final Faction comic. Congratulations. Other shows that ended last week, because it was just busy. Sandland the series.
Yeah, well, why did you get the Forest Line arc? Because I really enjoyed the Forest Line arc a lot.
As someone that loved the original manga, I can say that this is the best telling of the story I've seen so far. That being said, I still have a third version to go because I bought the video game. So...
Yeah, I do, because the video game really adds a lot more to the Forest. Like, there's like new generals.
Yeah,
there's like new generals in Forest Land that's only in the game, which I find interesting. But it's really interesting to see.
They changed the plot structure.
They did.
They introduced Sand at like the beginning instead of halfway through the story. So
yeah, I figured because it's a video game, you kind of need to restructure things for the story. But
they need her to be the mechanic, so she shows up a lot earlier. I was showing Jerry some gameplay, and he was like, "All right, I've read like every Toriyama thing. Who is this woman? Why is she here?"
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
she's new.
Yeah, I was like,
I literally read all Toriyama's.
I'll say because even in the Forest Land, Forest Land stuff is made for TV versus the Sandland part, which was just the movie cut into parts. I think the anime just still looks good. Like, there's more 2D, obviously, because they can't make a CG model. In some places,
I thought Forest Land even looked better than the Sandland part. It looked really good. Great show. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, it's all out, all 13. I highly recommend it. If you love Toriyama stuff.
Disney's not gonna advertise it.
Nope. It's on Disney. It's on Hulu, and it's on Disney Plus via Hulu.
Hulu, yep.
Cows, you gotta watch it now. You gotta activate your Hulu thing, right?
Oh, I keep forgetting to do that, right?
Yeah. Now that's all out. You can.
I saw the score. I saw the score you gave it too. So
I'm like,
wow.
Didn't I give it a 10 on my anime list?
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
I was like, at the end of it, I was like, this is great. I gave the manga a 9, but I give the anime a 10. Like,
I guess because it fleshed it out that much more.
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great. Man, Raul's like
the manga. I mean, because I love the manga, obviously. But even when I read it back as a kid, for the first time, I was like, wow, it just kind of feels like it finally got going and then it just ended.
It's the advantage of foresight because Toriyama before he passed, will work on this, working on this, and yes, the foresight. Well, I know what the story headed, so I can flesh things out more and stuff like that. It's
like the Demon Village feels like an actual place in the anime and the game, where in the manga.
We also got a new Pride Trooper in the Forest Land arc.
That's true. Yeah, there was technically a new Pride Trooper. The other fun thing is there was this gag in the manga where they were like, "Oh no, slime has wasted away," and it's like this little puddle of blue slime with 2 eyes. And I always thought it was the Dragon Quest slime.
Mm-hmm.
And the anime did the same gag. In the video game, you can save slime and see what slime actually looks like.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, it's not the Dragon Quest slime.
Oh, that's great.
But
I love that.
The game's great too. I'm having a great Sandland time. You guys are gonna hear more from me because I got the figure art of Beelzebub on the way. So
And a certain figure we also got. There's also another figure from Sandland we're gonna talk later in the stream.
Bad Batch
what's also funny?
up. Sorry, go ahead.
You also play. Speak of Disney Plus Hulu animes. I'm not sure you heard, but the Go-Go Loser Ranger anime is going on hiatus this week because of golf.
Oh wow, they really doubled down on the Tokusatsu references.
Yep.
Wow.
Even got hiatus by golf. Man, that takes planning.
Golf. I love that. I love this. The community uniting together. You're like, yes, this is a true loving parody. They
Yep.
take hiatus for golf.
All right, Star Wars: The Bad Batch wrapped after 3 seasons and might just be the best damn Star Wars animated show I think they've ever made.
Even better than Rebels. I know you
Yep.
love Rebels.
When you said that, you raise a beer glass. You're like, where'd you get that from?
I absolutely love Rebels. Because I legit love Rebels. But
Yeah, I remember that was top S tier on your Star Wars tier list.
it was,
I
yeah.
remember, right?
And I still think Rebels is fantastic, of course. But Rebels had to mix up its tone a lot because it aired on Disney XD.
Yeah, will you say with this being Disney Plus streaming only, they don't have, because with Rebels, I know a lot. The reason why some people couldn't get into Rebels at least early on was
it starts
the
like
first...
Rebels starts very Saturday morning cartoon, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it gets darker later, but then they had like a requirement that they couldn't go too dark. They had to keep throwing in lighter episodes almost randomly at times. Whereas Bad Batch will have its lighter episodes. You know, it has the tonal variety, but it stays consistent. Like, it didn't have like the this airs on Saturday mornings vibe. And I think it actually made it a stronger show. And because every season was 16 episodes, it let the characters breathe and grow and change. It wasn't like rushed through. Like, it actually...
That's pretty long. That's pretty long for each season to be 16 episodes.
For especially nowadays, right? Like, for 16 a season, and the first episode's an hour and 20 minutes too. So, like, it's a heck of a show. And I thought it was fantastic. And the best part too is because the main cast are not people we see later. It allows it to have its dramatic tension. We don't know where they
can go anywhere.
Yeah, it can go anywhere. And they do some canon connections. They do some tie-in stuff. I loved it.
My favorite, one of my favorite things about the Bad Batch is I think there was like there was a tweet saying the Bad Batch actors recorded all in like it together instead of like it separately.
Yes.
I'm like, 60 Bakers, the Bakers.
Yeah, 60 D. Badley Bakers and 1 Michelle Ng.
Yeah.
Great show.
Just raccoon. What are you doing here?
Yeah. But no, it's such a good show. And then speaking of Star Wars animation, oh boy, Tales of the Empire, which took the premise of Tales of the Jedi.
Tales of the Jedi by Sith, right?
Yeah, it's basically
Empire.
Sith. 3 episodes focusing on Morgan Elsbeth, which props to Diana Lee and Santo for getting a heck of a role in Star Wars. She was brought in for Mandalorian. Wait. Yeah.
I didn't. You said Ito Santo? Holy crap!
Yeah, the martial arts master.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, Bruce Lee's goddaughter.
Yes.
Yes.
Huh. Nice. Okay.
She was in Mandalorian for the Ahsoka episode, and she played this magistrate who was in charge of. I'm not gonna go into too many spoilers, Mr. Duke. I'm gonna keep kind of base level. So the thing is that she was brought in for her martial arts skill to fight Ahsoka in this episode where she was the magistrate of this town and she was running it for the Empire, basically. And then I thought she was just a one-off character. And then the Ahsoka series starts, and she rolls up as, like, Thrawn's right hand, and she's like, I'm gonna go find Thrawn. And they gave her this whole backstory and, like, expanded out on, like, how she's a witch of Dathomir, like a former Night Sister. And I was like, that's a lot of lore. Can we get more of this? And the first half of Tales of the Empire focuses on her story from Dathomir up to where we saw her in Mandalorian.
Well, that's nice.
Great stuff. And she got to voice the character again, which is awesome. They didn't bring in somebody else. She's still voicing the character. And then the second half of Tales of the Empire focuses on Barriss Offee, last seen being arrested by the Jedi Council because she was the true bomber behind the Jedi Council bombing, and she had framed Ahsoka. And so now they continued Barriss Offee's story as she gets recruited by the Inquisitors. which also means we got Jason Isaacs back as the Grand Inquisitor, therefore maybe allowing me to kick the Obi-Wan Kenobi version of the Grand Inquisitor out of my head forever.
Where you're like, oh, thank God he's back.
Yep. He said 2 words, and I was like, thank God it's Jason Isaacs. I always worry when they recast a character that they'll like go back and then they'll just be like, oh, that person's playing him now. But no, it was Jason Isaacs again.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff, though. Really, really good stuff.
No, it really does remind me.
Mm.
Man, I really just wish to just let this team do sequel era stuff.
Yep.
Because, like,
we've done a prequel era Tales of. Now we're doing an original trilogy era Tales of. Can we get a sequel era Tales of?
Please.
There's
just
options.
Flesh out that world. Why the Tales of series would just help just explore more of that side of the series because that's the least explored era of even in the comics.
By the way, guys, Star Wars has had witches in it since the old expanded universe after the original trilogy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember reading one of those old books
and
talking about witches.
Goes way back. I would like to see every other year get a new Tales series. I think this should be a consistent thing. There's so many options here.
Man, every time you say Tales of, I'm thinking of the series.
The video game, the Bandai, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cameron Meadows says favorite Star Wars animated moment. Let me think of one that doesn't have spoilers. It's gonna be hard. Almost all my favorite Star Wars moments are incredibly spoiler heavy.
I think for me it would be forever. I think it's like one of the top ones is definitely the Ahsoka versus Vader from Rebels.
Yeah, that's a good one. I was gonna say, anytime Ahsoka fights an Inquisitor is like my favorite thing ever because she eats them for breakfast every single time. Like every time Ahsoka fights an Inquisitor, whether it's animated or live action, that Inquisitor ain't walking away unharmed. Like she takes care of business when it comes to Inquisitors. It's amazing. All right, and then wrapping up media reviews, The Fall Guy. I went and saw this yesterday. Great movie. Shout out to that being like about the stunt community, basically.
I know, because that's the big thing. Is like the stunt. I think there's any part of Hollywood that's so overlooked is the stunt people.
Yep. There even is a line where like Ryan Gosling's character meets a guy in a bar and he's like, "Oh, you're a stunt guy? Do they give Oscars for that?" And Ryan Gosling's like, "No, they don't."
Nope.
Great movie. It's just like a big fun action movie. It's made by a stunt director. It's got rom-com elements to it.
If anybody wants to watch something that
if you watch the original show with Lee Majors, there's a little bit of this movie that will make you very happy. So they don't ignore. Yeah, this is based on a TV show. From the
okay, never mind. I was going to say something original, but then knowing that, so it's not based on.
It's like Barbie, where it's not technically original, but boy, is it fresh. It's not like an ongoing franchise because the idea of the movie is that Ryan Gosling plays a stuntman who gets wrapped into like a big conspiracy when the actor that he's doubling for goes missing. The original Fall Guy TV show with Lee Majors was about a stunt guy who was also a bounty hunter because stunt guy didn't pay him enough. And so it's kind of like that same thing of like stunt guy is also doing like real world action stuff. They just kind of take it in a different direction with this movie, but they pay a lot of homage and a lot of reference to that TV show. It's not like they just took the name and ran with it, which I think was pretty nice. So my parents who had watched the original show were really happy with the movie. But no, I had a great time watching it. See, MJ Klein's like, I didn't know there was a TV show, Fall Guy. I think the reason the movie got greenlit was because it had an IP name, even if nobody knew what the IP was. I think this is a movie that wouldn't have happened if they didn't have like a name attached. Like the studios wouldn't have greenlit it, right? So
I saw a comment of like, why do so many reboots add people of color? Because if we try to pitch something that about people of color or such, won't be approved because studio wants recognizable IPs nowadays and all that stuff.
But anyways, had a great time with this movie. Fantastic. I can't point correctly today. We're just going to give up on it. Had a great time with it. Highly recommend it. If you want to go see something fun, just big, bold action movie. Had a great time. Also, it gave me flashbacks to working on movie sets because it actually felt like an accurate representation of working on a movie set, which doesn't happen very often.
Why are you telling me Last Action Hero isn't accurate to how films work?
Almost anytime they do a movie or show where they're like, "Oh, we're on a movie set," it never actually feels like a movie set. This one, it did. There was so many little things that I don't think the average audience viewer would have noticed, but for me, it was everything. Anyways, you guys ready to talk news? Let's get to the news stuff. We did a lot of media talk. First things first, videos last week, the part 2 and 3 of the collection tour. Glad everybody's been enjoying them. Did everybody enjoy watching them?
Or look at Sound's shame of how messy his room is.
Yep. I decided to own up to it. I was like, look, I'm not gonna like pretend like it all looks perfect. So
I don't even want to.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
Here's the question I want to ask. If there was Cosmic Fury toys, like figures, where would you place them? Would you just put them next to Dino Fury, or
I would have put them
in
with
the
Dino Fury,
section?
because Q Ranger's too full. I would Cosmic Fury figures I would put with Q Ranger if I had room, but Q Ranger's too full. I'd have to put it with Dino Fury. But yeah, no, I think part 2 was definitely the messier part. I really like how my Sentai display looks right now. It's very packed, the best part, but I like it.
The best part is if you're ever a home invasion, you have a whole weapons rack. You just go and
it's true. Yeah, I can pop. They're all Velcro tied, so I can just pop those things off the shelf. That was kind of the idea. Is like, let me put my favorite Power Rangers weapons and stuff up. So, yeah, it's a weapons rack. No, I'm pretty proud of that display. I got to work on some other stuff. People are giving me advice on like what kind of shelves to buy and things, which is great. So, I appreciate everybody's feedback on that. And I'll probably do another one next year because I'm going to probably redo that back room. Aside from the Power Rangers display, that's staying, but everything around it.
You should do a video of you going through everything in storage called like the great. It's like for Halloween special. It's like, look, we'll go to the Forbidden Zone, the storage area, to see what nasty, what like lost stuff's in there.
Yeah, that could be fun. Thanks, Jamie's World, for that compliment. Last week's shorts were also pretty fun. We had the Sonic IHOP outing. It was the first Sound Out on Location short. Shot in real locations.
First of many or no?
First what?
First of many or no?
We'll see. I mean, if there's other things I can do in short form that would make sense to do, I'd totally do it.
No, like the One Piece card game video, like where you just like, I want to get some One Piece cards.
So the One Piece card video, I need to explain to everybody. Okay, I explained this to some friends. So here it is.
So I know you got the Gum Fruit because you want the Gum Fruit.
I wanted so I'm getting to the part where like I'm learning about the three brothers, right? So I was like, I saw this deck.
You can I finally know about Sabo.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I don't know everything yet. I just know he's finally showing up. So the thing is, I was like, why is this deck, like the starter deck, such a big box? And then I found it came with like a card case, and I thought that'd be fun to get. And so I asked my dad if he'd pick it up for me because it was at a store he was going to the next day. And so he did, but then he read that there was a bonus pack and was like, I bought all of them so we could see what the bonus packs are. And I was like, I will make a short out of this. I don't know what to do with all the decks now. Because everything's the same minus 3 cards. Also, One Piece update. I guess, I don't know if nobody commented on it. Here's the Wano Arc Nico Robin statue that I got at my comic shop because it was on sale.
Oh, hey.
Because who knows when Bandai's going to make Robin.
Exactly. So I got her. My dad bought Boa Hancock, so now we have like the two of them sitting.
Is the Boa Hancock one doing the point?
She's the Boa Hancock one is sitting. Like she's got a little like kind of ledge to sit on, and you can put her on the edge of tables and stuff because she's got like a flat base.
Have you got that character in One Piece yet?
I have, yeah. I got through the whole. Okay. I got through the arc of like Luffy being on the being on Boa Hancock's version of the Mascara and stuff.
So I wasn't sure if she was a time skip like only character.
Yeah, no, she was before because she's the reason Luffy even gets into Impel Down. So good stuff. Adding to that. This week's videos are going to be a little different because the view counts on the collection tours allow me to do things a little different. I like when we can do that, you know. When some videos do well, then I can just go like, all right, let's go do something different.
It's called Power. Quick, we need to get some funds for other Ranger teams. Hit the Mighty Morphin button.
Yeah. Basically, and so this week's videos on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a video. It's called it's going to be called Real Talk. I know that's not like a unique name, but I'm going to do like a Real Talk thing of like I'm going to sit down.
It sounds like a TED. Is this like a TED Talks but sound edition?
It's kind of like a TED Talk sound edition, more like a sit down, like let's just have a little conversation thing. And so the idea I have is that I'm going to talk about the nature of when you need to like hey psychos, when you need to move on from a franchise or let go of a franchise, and how that's like an okay thing to do. So it's gonna be like I'll talk about it. It's gonna be like 20. I think it's gonna be like 20 minutes before the outro. Of just like let me talk about experiences I've had with being able to let go of a franchise, because I'm noticing there's a lot of fandoms right now that are having like troubles with being like probably too attached to a franchise. Yes, like Power Rangers, like Buteki says. I think it's the non difficult choice to pick. But there's some other fandoms that I've seen people like they're latching on to their idea of a franchise so tightly that it's like it's damaging in a way. And so I want to talk about my experiences of doing that myself and how to break from that.
Are you sure this isn't just a response to Josh's last lightning storm?
No, it's actually the reason I came up with the video is that like I saw the way that the Josh's last lightning storm, Dan Larson's video on Thundercats Roar, and Pixel Dan's video on the new Masters of the Universe movie. They all kind of gave me this idea of maybe we need to talk about our experiences of being too attached to franchises and how it's okay to just kind of let things be, right? So that's what I want to do. I want to share some examples. I want to talk things out. It's you know, it's going to be kind of like fandom therapy in a way. It's just going to be like a nice conversation. So
I always say is like love the franchise you love, but don't let it take over you.
Yeah,
you still love my always thing is like I love a bunch of franchises, but like I'm not gonna let them like absorb me. Like I'll always think about it. I always check out the new thing they will bring out, but it's not gonna be like, oh my god, how dare they do this or all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like like I'm like this example is like I wasn't too big on what I saw of Transformers 1, but I'm not gonna like, oh my god, I see some really like I'm not gonna be like some people who have this like violent.
I bring up Transformers 1 as an example in the video, so
yeah, I'm not gonna be like oh my god, this is gonna be devastating for the franchise. Oh, no, no, it's clearly not meant for me. I'll still check it out, but like if I don't like it, there's so many other parts of the franchise I can just enjoy more.
Exactly. So we will talk about that. We will talk about that on Wednesday. That'll be Wednesday's video. Friday there will be a new disc discussion, as it's been asked for.
About monks.
About monkeys. About apes. I'm gonna be doing a comparison of the 2006 Planet of the Apes Ultimate Collection DVD and the 2018 Planet of the Apes 50 years anniversary Blu-ray. Talking about which one is the better one, what came in both of them, and what to look for in a possible future set. And it'll be kind of like a compare and contrast thing, and also talk about like the movies themselves and stuff. I think it'll be a good time. And that's of course happening because there's a new Planet of the Apes movie coming out Friday, and I can't freaking wait. I'm so excited because I'm now like 100% on board with Planet of the Apes.
The years of the monkey.
Yep. So, those will be the videos this week, and I hope you guys will enjoy that. I think here's the thing with the Planet of the Apes. If you guys aren't into Planet of the Apes, I think you'll still enjoy the video if you enjoy collecting home video. So like, if you enjoy the collecting of movies on DVD and Blu-ray, that video is going to have a lot for you in the like comparison aspect. So that's why I think it'll have broad appeal for that.
Also just watch Soundout, just subscribe these weird monkey movies.
Yep.
As you first,
the original 5 movies are the most insane like set of movies I've ever seen. And I love it. So yeah. I've watched all the Planet of the Apes movies now, and I can't wait for the new one.
I remember you didn't finish them when I was like, hey, what about that time travel? And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, exactly. Oh, you'll get there.
Yeah, no, I have a friend who
I used to watch all of them. It's like a bunch.
I have a friend who wants to go see the new one, and I was like, you need to watch these movies, and so he watched the first 3 yesterday, and he just watched Conquest this morning. So like he's binging them too. They're really addictive, I think. Spin Dash says, will the video feature Soundout wearing an ape mask? No, but it will feature an ape head. I can guarantee an ape head. Muteki, I will count the Tim Burton as part of this, yes. I did see the Burton one. I saw the Burton one when it came out. And my parents showed me the original 1968 Planet of the Apes before seeing the Burton one. And I watched that 68 Planet of the Apes again like a few years later. I never saw any of the other movies until like a couple months ago. And now I've seen all of them. I didn't rewatch the Burton one, though. But I watched all of them.
The Planet Apes movies are more. And Apes one of those franchises. There's more to it than meets the eye.
Yep,
it's the best way to describe it.
You could think it's just a silly movie about monkey people, but it's like actually an entire reflection on the human condition and the way society treats each other. Incredible freaking.
Especially
especially the newer films.
Especially the 2010 trilogy, because I heard incredible things about the 2010.
The 2010 trilogy is really great. Psychos, I forgot about the channel memberships thing. Thank you. God, it's a day of just forgetting things. So here's the thing, right? So the 2010 trilogy is really good, but you know what I was surprised by was 1971's Conquest, or 1972's Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, almost hitting the point harder than the 2010s movies did. Which was astonishing to me, because I was like, the older movie has like, they're
oh,
crazy.
No, yeah.
Will it feature me in a monkey hat? No. Let's see. Oh yeah, the TV shows Planet of the Apes, we'll talk about those as well. I don't have a Planet of the Apes t-shirt. I looked for one, I couldn't find one. Let's see.
We also
Will
be like
there
a
be an Apes tier stream? Yeah, I'll probably tier rank the movies next week. I think we'll do that next week after I see Kingdom.
Pay.
So,
I guess it also could be I guess it's also like a secret hidden watch viewing guide also. Yes.
Yep, it would be kind of a secret viewing guide, because I mean they're pretty straightforward. You just watch them in order. there's no back and forth on it. Yeah. Okay. So I forgot that it is the beginning of. No, I'm not joining my own membership. Thank you, YouTube. I can gift 5 memberships. I forgot it was the beginning.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
all right, time to pull the gotcha roll out. All right, SA for Jason, Cycle Woes, Cigar Coast, Raymond Gray, Muhammad Faiz Dali.
Hey, there we go. Look at that. 5 memberships. Hope you guys enjoy them. There will be definitely fun videos this month you get to see early. If you want to join as a member yourself, you can join for as little as $1 a month. Access to member-exclusive streams, access to early access. Check it out in the join button. Ready to get on our news, because our news is not like lengthy. But we should get to it before we get off track and I start talking about apes again. And Muteki says, why don't I want to join my own membership? Because there's no benefit for me joining it. I already get the videos early. Because I make them.
You're not going to make... What, you're going to pay for yourself? Pay yourself?
Okay. All right, entertainment news. We're starting with that. So in Crunchyroll and Sony's merger of things are getting lost in the licensing department. They're not renewing stuff. Case in point, Shout Studios just picked up the digital rights to Speed Racer in both the original English dub and the Japanese, and they're both going to get video on demand releases. No word yet if they're going to do Blu-ray discs, but maybe they will. I'm glad you got the gift, Satargos. So I think this is a sign that like this is not licensed by Crunchyroll didn't renew the Funimation license on Speed Racer, but hopefully this means a wider release of Mach Go Go Go, because that was only in a creepy Speed Racer headset from Funimation.
Speaking of.
Yep. Speaking of headsets, guys, I might do a video on all the DVDs and Blu-ray sets that come in heads, because there's a lot. We'll see. So yeah, that's news there. In other news, Crunchyroll is also lost the rights to Shin Godzilla, which was kind of a rumor that they would be. That there's a rumor that Criterion might be picking it up. Seems to be lining up right now.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I think because I know the whole media was out of print for a long time. I think Shin Godzilla was only dub only on Crunchyroll, so I guess that kind of shows that the rights were expiring because I don't all that stuff. So
And
not
hopefully,
surprised.
hopefully, if Criterion are the ones to re-release this film on disc, they will get the version with the title card credits in it that Funimation wasn't given. So that'd be nice. But yeah, because the Japanese credits in the Anno font weren't in the Funimation release. So we'll see. All right.
Hopefully
Yeah.
it'll come around the same time as -1 because wasn't the report of like that's like the most high pirated movie or something like that I heard?
Yes, partially because Toho was stupid and didn't release the movie in Southeast Asia at all.
Yep.
Yep.
Ooh.
So, oh yeah, the black and white edition needs to get released. A good point, Spindash. All right, so this is the new cast member for Ultraman Arc. The character Shu Ishido, age 25, played by Sho Kanada, age 24. So that's neat. Good old mid-20s casting, which is the thing they've been doing lately, which is nice.
This comes out in July, right?
Yeah, July. Yep. So he's a special investigator assigned by the Science Division of the Global Defense Force to join Yuma at SKIP, the Scientific Kaiju Investigation Prevention Center. He tackles kaiju disasters as one of Yuma's fellows. Yeah, they're going to be fellows together. Yeah, there you go. So, that's that. Next up, in the world of lost media, we have the first episode produced for Power Rangers. Let me explain this because Seamus Kelly at Den of Geek just did an article about this, and then we've actually got the video of it now. So Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, when it finally got kind of greenlit for a pilot, they made that pilot with Aubrey Dubois as Trini and the different Alpha costume and all that, and that was the pilot. The show got greenlit, and they got to produce a first episode. And the first cut of that episode had different scenes at the beginning setting up the Rangers becoming the Power Rangers. The stuff at the juice bar was different, and they reshot all of it later because Fox Kids was concerned about the violence level in that episode. And the reason why is because there are scenes of like Bulk and Skull have like a gang of bullies instead of just being like two bullies. And so the Rangers get into a fight scene with the bullies, and there's like a moment where like Kimberly does a backflip and kicks a lady in the head and she like falls over. So it's not like super violent, but like it was human on human violence that the Fox Kids network didn't want to promote with the show. So this version of the episode was reworked into the version we finally got. And the director, Adrian Carr, uploaded the original version to his YouTube channel, so now we finally see the alternate version of the morph. Now we see those extra scenes with the fights in it, and seeing that Gotan was actually the first monster they fought, not the giant Goldar. So all of that is now available on YouTube. In fact, I'm going to put the link in the chat here, so if anybody wants to go watch it, you guys can go check it out after the stream. Don't abandon me to go watch Power Rangers, okay? I'm telling you about this. The trade-off is you watch this, you put this in your watch later. So yeah, it's really cool. I didn't watch the entire episode. I just kind of like looked for what was new. But what was also interesting is the specific shot of the Rangers being teleported to the command center the first time they used in the opening is actually from this version of the episode. So that mystery solved. The alternate morph we saw in an upfront presentation, that mystery solved. And now we've seen the second version. So the third version of this episode, which would have been the second edit of this specific filming, was the one that finally aired. So
I don't know why Bulk and Skull's gang of bullies reminds me of Bebop and Rocksteady's like gang of ducks and 80 turtles for some reason.
Yeah,
I was thinking of Fallout 3 with the tunnel snakes.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is the entire episode, Muteki. There was a clip that the director posted a couple months back of some of the Bulk and Skull gang stuff, but this is the full episode. Like it's all as it was off his tape. So props to this guy. This guy also has a lot of behind the scenes stuff. He worked as second unit director on movies like Quickly Down Under. So go check out his channel. There's a lot of good archival stuff there. Sutargo says, question, will Zio's Scorpion Rain be found? Yes, when we travel to the alternate timeline where that actually existed.
Yeah, remember, that wasn't a real thing, technically.
Yeah. All right, next up. We talked about the Skybound G.I. Joe American Hero Compendium paperbacks that are coming out starting this fall in October. That'll be collecting the Larry Hama G.I. Joe comic from the beginning. And so what we have here is an update, because a lot of people were like, okay, compendiums are cool, they're paperbacks. Why can't we get like hardcovers? There's some people that really wanted to spend some money and get some hardcovers. That's fair. That's valid. I buy omnibuses too. I got it. So Skybound is meeting people halfway, basically. There is going to be a Kickstarter for the G.I. Joe Real American Hero Compendium set in hardcover. So this is going to be launching on May 28th. And this is going to be a Kickstarter exclusive set, which will contain every issue of the original 1982 comic book series in 4 definitive hardcover compendiums, which does confirm that we are splitting the Marvel era from the IDW era. Like, it's not going to just roll straight into it, but we are doing 4 volumes of the original Marvel era. They're going to be bound and presented.
I think that makes sense.
Yes.
I think that makes sense.
It makes a ton of sense, I think, to kind of keep them, because there are some people that just want the Marvel era. That's what they grew up with, and that's totally fair. Lovingly bound and presented in the official reading order. Thank you. That's what I like to hear. I don't like when miniseries are shoved to the end of books. You know.
You mean I don't have to do my
Yeah,
for
wasn't
once?
that was that one of your was that one of your concerns when the was first revealed?
That was that was my concern when it was first revealed, because all we were told with the first volume was 1 through 50, which is fine. There was nothing to add in to that 1 to 50. It's when you get to volume 2 and onward. And with Transformers, I was concerned that they weren't inserting things, but they're doing it here. I imagine it'll work the same for Transformers. You can get on a mailing list to sign up, and you can get I think you get a Storm Shadow trading card if you're on the mailing list and back the Kickstarter. So there's that. This will be launching May 28th at 6 a.m. Pacific. And it kind of goes into some details. And what I liked about this is they laid it out. They said it will be every issue of G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, every issue of G.I. Joe Special Missions. It'll include G.I. Joe and the Transformers, which is not technically canon to the G.I. Joe comic, but hey, glad to see it in here.
Well, since Larry Hama really hated it.
Larry Hama did not want Transformers in his G.I. Joe. He was like, this is I like the sci-fi stuff I've added, but the talking robots is too far, basically. That's why when he had to introduce G2 Megatron, he just introduced the talking robot.
Robot.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's also nice is that it is also going to include G.I. Joe Order of Battle and G.I. Joe Special Number 1, which were not included in IDW's reprints. Reprints.
We have to say repaints.
Sorry. The reprints did not include Order of Battle and G.I. Joe Special. Order of Battle is kind of like a guidebook thing where it comes with like bio sheets of characters. And the
I see. I know, because I've seen like mangas, and especially I know Archie Sonic did something like that also.
Yeah, it's like a source book. That's the word, source book of information. And G.I. Joe Special was one of the original Marvel issues re-illustrated by Todd McFarlane, which explains why it's here, because it's being printed by Image. Scotty N70, we haven't gotten to the Kamen news yet. Let's see. So it'll include all that. And Larry Hama has a quote saying, "I don't know about the rest of you out there in the G.I. Joe metaverse, but I, for one, am really looking forward to having this complete set on my bookshelf." So what's cool is it says that each box set, so it's going to be a box set of 4 books, like, is what it's sounding like. Each box set will include 9 exclusive G.I. Joe or Cobra trading cards from artists past, present, and future, from the likes of Chris Mooneyham, Lee Weeks, Rod Wingham, Carlo Pagluna, Paul Pelleter, Pat Oliphey. These are some of the first times I've read these names out loud. Ron Wagner, Jan Jurgens, and Larry Hama. The first 6 cards of each set will be revealed in the campaign launches, and the last 3 will be voted on by fans. And so they're going to be doing, these are going to be essentially your hardcover high-end premium editions. So if you're looking for the hardcovers, it's going to be Kickstarter. If you're cool with the paperbacks, it'll probably most likely be a lot cheaper.
Well, the paperbacks are for paperbacks are for the people who just want to read the book. These hardcovers are for like the hardcore collector who really wants like these books in the best condition, pretty much.
And the nice part is that it's not like the Gargoyles 30th anniversary Kickstarter, where I'm sitting here wondering if Dynamite's going to put those reprints out at retail as well, or if they're only in that Kickstarter because they haven't confirmed it. This is going to be like the Boom Studios Power Rangers Kickstarters, where they're like, oh yeah, those deluxe editions will still come out at retail. We're just launching them with Kickstarter for the ones that want the high-end, super premium experience. No word on the paper of these, but I imagine it's not going to be like thin. I think it's going to be like the high-quality stuff.
They're good. They're gonna come eventually.
Mm-hmm. So we'll get more details on the 28th. I'm curious about price. I love this run, but I do have a price limit. If it's
How
over
much? How so? What's How much was the? Did we get a price for the paperback?
the paperback is $64.99.
Sorry. So if all right, so
yeah.
what's if that was 64, and so usually hardbacks are what 10 bucks usually more than paperbacks
Depends on
usually,
the.
right?
We also don't know the trim size. We don't know if these are going to be the same size as the paperbacks or if they're going to be like omnibus size.
Yeah, that is
that
true.
could be a factor too. So at retail, it's going to be $260 for the 4 volumes. This is going to be, I would imagine, in the 500 range. And I don't know if I'm going to spend that much, but we'll have to see how it's all decked out. It may be. I think it's going to be probably like the 500 range. But we'll see the options. I mean, we'll just see. I'm not committing to this or not committing to this because it's probably going to be a lot of money. And if people are like, why does a big brand have to go to Kickstarter? Because printing books is expensive. And if you're doing high-end hardcovers,
especially high quality, you want it to be high quality.
Yeah, if you want to be high quality, high-end paper and binding, you need the money up front, right? Because they can print a paperback and send that off to retail, and they'll know they'll send a bunch. But if you have a higher price, like if they sent these to, and I'm just guessing what the prices, guys. We'll see what the final prices are. I'm just basing it on how I've seen other things go. But like you can send something out to retail. If it's the right price, it'll sell. Something like this that's high end, to make it high end, it's going to be more expensive. You're going to sell less copies. So it's better to get those people in on the front line, know how many copies you need to make, and have the money to actually even do it with.
Yeah, even though G.I. Joe is not like bad, like doesn't do bad as much as people like to make you think it is. It's not Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
There's more of a risk just
it's
making
not Marvel.
these.
It's not DC. Yeah.
There's more of a risk. Again, G.I. Joe is much more popular than I think people think it is, but there is still a risk of releasing these at retail.
Yeah.
What the price they will have to be.
It's kind of the same thing with the Power Rangers. Like they do a Kickstarter for some deluxe edition hardcovers, then they'll do a retail edition that's not as fancy, but they got the money from the Kickstarter and now they can afford to do it. As opposed to doing that. But yeah, we'll see, because if this is if this is $500 for 4 leather-bound hardcovers of ostensibly 200 plus issues of comics, that's still not bad. It'll probably, if they say it's a box set, it'll probably come in a slipcase. We'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, anytime I see people complain about if it's any company that's not Marvel and DC, publishing is like Infinity Wardman says, publishing becomes crazy expensive, especially with the supply chain stuff. So
and especially since it's a licensed book, also.
Yeah, licensed book as well. Yeah, so they need to get all the money they can up front. That's why the MonsterVerse omnibus was a Kickstarter. That's why the Pacific Rim omnibus was a Kickstarter. That's why Marvel's art books are now Kickstarters, and those are being published by another company. They're not being published by Marvel. It's just because publishing is expensive. So the more premium you get, the more risk it is to print it. Mr. Tanuki Boom does not have Power Rangers omnibuses, but they do have omnibus-sized deluxe hardcovers that are about 12 to 17 issues apiece.
They're like IAW's covers for Turtles and Sonic, but even more fancy.
They're even more fancy, and they have full-page cover galleries in the back of all of them.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Hellfire says, slightly off topic, but would we get any more info on the DC Finest collection? Nothing yet. I'm still waiting to see the contents of Wave 2 and 3. I imagine we're just going to get that when we get closer. But that's on my list of things to keep an eye out for the news, because when we talked about DC Finest, everybody was into it. So I'm like, yeah, we'll keep posted on this. Mr. Juki, I also have a video about how some of the weird mapping in the Power Rangers hardcovers go, if you want to check that out. Gotta plug my stuff. I apologize if I do that too much, but, that's the game.
It's your channel.
Yeah. Let's talk Superman.
Yes.
Yeah.
The DC Twitter said, get ready, Superman, July 11th, 2025. Here's our look at David, what's his name? David Cornsweet. Sorry, I had to read his name on the other tweet. Cornsweet, right?
PSA. Speaking of Superman, PSA, My Adventure Superman Season 2 comes back end of this month.
Yes.
On May 25th? Or May, I know it's May. End of this month. I just forget what day it is.
Mm-hmm. So let's zoom around this image. First things first, look at his red trunks. Okay, that's what I was looking at.
He has his undies back.
Yep. I think it's the red trunks. I don't think it's the cape, because if it was a cape, he would have no crotch.
It's the trunks.
Yep. People are saying the suit looks a little loose on him. The reason why is because he's sitting down.
He's dressing. Yeah, he's literally dressing up, guys.
Yep. I will say this is evocative of an All-Star Superman cover, which James Gunn has said is an inspiration for the movie. I will say I wouldn't have done this as the first photo, though.
Yeah, I would say this is
I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
This is a weird first.
People complaining. I'm like, this seems like it's later after a fight. I wouldn't. Yeah.
There's definitely some battle damage going on the chest. Like he's
essentially, is he seeing Clark just sitting there while there's like some kind of fight going on outside?
Right, and they were like, we took this in camera frame, and I'm like, that was not in your camera frame, and if it was, and you're like doing an AR wall thing, and it looks that bad, you go redo it. But I think he looks good. I think the actor has the right like face shape look for it. His hair's done right. I think I like that a lot. I like the red trunks. I like the red boots.
Does he have the spit curl? It looks like he does.
He does.
Yeah, he has curl.
It's not as intense as like the Christopher Reeve curl, but it's there, right?
Yeah, we haven't got a curl since Christopher Reeve. No, did Brandon Reeve have a curl?
Reeve had a curl, yeah.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be the same character, quote unquote. But
Brandon Routh had the curl, yeah.
Yeah, Brandon. But Tyler Hutchinson or Cavill did not have the curl,
right?
So.
The other thing I think, let's see. Oh, Satargos, who loves Superman, says, Superman, as you can tell by the screen name, is very important to me. It's an all-time favorite character, not just in comics, but in fiction as well. I'm happy we're finally getting a new movie. I love Superman, too, and that's what I love.
Yeah, no, Superman's my favorite.
He's my favorite.
I love Superman so much. He's
By the way, I got
Satargos says, I tend to try and model my life and morals off of Superman. I do the same. I look at Superman. Superman's like my aspirational person. I want to be like Superman, you know?
Yeah.
I would say, I think the actor, I've seen the actor in other stuff, he's a good actor, but man, Tyler Hutchinson from Superman Lois, he has a battle for me because I love Tyler Hutchinson, Super Clark, and Superman so much. He's a perfect he's a perfect Clark Kent and a perfect. So I think Henry Cavill, he's a great actor, but like I always thought him as a good Superman. Then again, the problem is those movies didn't really give him a chance to be Clark Kent,
right?
And such so that's the thing. I did because I like Batman, where I feel like Batman, I think you can can get away by doing one over the other. I feel like Superman is a character you need to do both well. You need to be a good Clark Kent, you need to be a good Superman. So I'm really curious how to see how this movie does it.
Kaus, what do you think?
I was just gonna say that I like it a lot already, but I was gonna bring up the people when I was talking about it earlier with other friends of mine, and they were like, why are people complaining about the texture? And I'm like, I don't know.
It's one, we talk about this off street, but like, we just had this happen. Unless they just use spandex, we never get like no texture superhero costumes.
It doesn't. It's not even a problem. Like I don't like, man. It's like a nitpicky type of.
It's not like Sam's new outfit in the new Cap movie, for example. I really hate that new outfit.
I don't like the new outfit for Sam Cap because it doesn't look like Sam Cap. It looks like they want to downplay that he's Captain America.
It just reminds you, hey, look, remember Steve?
Yeah. I will. It was funny because, like, let's see. Where was this comment? I just saw this comment. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Andrea said, "Is that Brainiac again?" Fine. It's funny because if that is Brainiac, I'd be so excited because we somehow never had.
Because we never got it. We never got Brainiac in a live action movie.
Why is the best live action Brainiac the one from Krypton?
Right?
No shade on Krypton because I love that show, but like, why is that our only like real live action Brainiac? Like,
I mean, Superman Lois that might be a budget issue. You probably can't do Brainiac on TV budget, at least in that.
At least not on CW TV budget because Sci-Fi pulled it off on their TV budget. I don't know. Smallville had a Brainiac. They worked with the budget, but I think it was because Superman and Lois was going for the grounded stuff. I think they were going for the grounded villains. They didn't want to do the space villains as much. They wanted some Krypton stuff, but not too much. Jojo Star says. He hits younger Superman right. Tyler hits older Superman insanely well. Tyler was made for an older Superman. I agree. Yeah, this is definitely this kind of reminds me of like when you see this kind of reminds me like when you look at like Robert Pattinson's Batman compared to Ben Affleck's Batman. Like they're two different like eras of the character in a lot of ways. The one thing I don't like with the suit is the collar. And
yeah, it does kind of look. It does kind of look like a sweater.
And the reason I don't like the collar in general is that every time we've done Superman with a high collar, it's been like when he's Injustice Superman or the evil Superman from this universe, or he's Ultraman or something. The high collar with normal Superman doesn't work
it's
for me.
Superman from Earth 3. We're not allowed to say that.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Superman from Earth 3. But yeah, no, the high collar always gives me evil Superman vibes, which I don't like. But, I mean, otherwise, the rest of it, I'm fine with it.
My problem,
New 52 Superman had that collar, too, and I didn't like it there either.
My only problem, and this is not just Super, but like Eris's Man of Steel, I never liked the dark blue.
Yeah.
It just looks so... I've never been a big fan of the dark blue. I wish they just lined the blue up.
Remember in Superman and Lois when they gave him, like, the Golden Age costume for, like, one scene? That was great.
Yep.
Jojo Star says I probably should watch Krypton. Hey, it ends on a cliffhanger, but I found both seasons to be great. It was the best version of Doomsday I've seen outside of the comics, too. And one of the best Lobo interpretations. God, Krypton kicked so much ass. It was great. Had Colin Salmon as Zod, and Lobo was in it, Brainiac, and Doomsday. Just great show. Yeah, Sudaro says, remember when people said it looked like Fortnite Superman and James Gunn rolled his eyes? It kind of does look like it. And also bring back Superman and Fortnite. Yeah, it kind of does have that same vibe that the Superman Fortnite design did. I think this is the thing, just like a minor thing. James Gunn talks too much on social media because he'll be like, oh, it doesn't do that. And then something comes out and it contradicts him. It's like, James, just make the movie and stop talking about it so much, you know?
I mean, it's, well, people say that, but like, Fortnite Fortnite Superman, but it's also more, I think we remember that it's very much based off the Jim Lee.
Yeah,
52.
I think Jim Lee kind of, like, when Jim Lee redesigned Superman, everything's looked at the Jim Lee design sense, basically.
Because that was, I think, the start of the extra lines and stuff like that on the suit and such.
Yep. Overall, I like it. And now, there was a concern that he wasn't going to be beefy enough to play Superman because Cornsweat was kind of a skinny guy about a year and a half ago when he got cast or whatever.
People forget people can get ripped for these movies.
People forget this can happen when you have a team with a dietitian, a trainer, and a regime schedule and getting paid a lot of money to play a character. So, yeah, Sutargo's season 1 of Krypton runs a little slow, but I thought the last third of season 1 picked it up, and season 2 was just fantastic. So if you want to go back to it, I recommend it. Anyways, no, I think he definitely put in the work here. Again, with a professional trainer and a dietitian and a whole team, because that's how this works. So
never forget, J.K. Simmons got ripped for Gordon for Justice League.
And then he did 3 other movies too. Oh, JoJo Stars brings a good point. Christopher Reeve bulked up too when he played Superman. I like to see this because I know that Robert Pattinson's Batman is not in this universe. I kind of still hope that'll happen anyways. They'll just be like, never mind, we're putting him in the same one. But I kind of like how Pattinson's Batman's he's muscular but leaner, and Superman's muscular but bulkier. That visual distinction between them.
That's always my take on my preferred Trinity look is Batman's just normal, small, average dude. Superman's taller than him, with just being more bulky, and Wonder Woman's not bigger, is taller than both of them combined.
Yes. I like that. I like that headcanon size scaling.
That's why, for example, I never minded how small the Rebirth Batman McFarlane figure is, because I don't think I like him, Bruce not being a giant.
Yep. It's kind of like how I didn't like how Mattel had Batman and Superman on the same body.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I think he looks great in the suit. He obviously put the physique work in. I'm excited. It's a Superman movie. How can I not be excited? Yeah. Oh, Stargo's a good point. He says, I'm happy that a lot of recent Supermen are buff, but not too crazy like The Rock or Drax. Yeah, that. They're kind of in that
if you're Superman, my vision of Superman is giving people what they want. I would say.
Yeah. See. Okay. So Andreas brings up a good point too. Andreas says it's mind-boggling that we have a separate Batman and Joker movie universes going separately. That's kind of why, I think Joaquin Phoenix's Joker universe kind of just has to stay separate. It's too distinctive in its own.
Well, that was the thing that I thought during when that movie came out, and I think I always feel like that DC would have been better if they just went full Elseworlds and don't bother with a universe like Marvel, just to make them unique. I always thought they should have done that, but nope,
yeah, like
not.
everything standalone would be nice. And so if we're going to do a connected universe, which is cool, this is what I would do. I wouldn't make this Batman Brave and the Bold movie that they announced, where it's like a separate Batman from Robert Pattinson and it introduces Damian and all that. I wouldn't do that. I just scrap that movie. Matt Reeves wants to make his Batman trilogy without like other superpowers involved. Great. Let him make his trilogy. Matt Reeves is super talented. He did 2 really good Planet of the Apes movies. But like, let him make his trilogy. And then when his trilogy is done, just be like, all right, cool. We're taking Robert Pattinson now and putting him in this Justice.
I mean, that's how it works. That's how it works in comics.
Yep, I think that would have worked. With like I wouldn't make I wouldn't have 2 live action Batman movies at the same time. It's just going to confuse people, and if they doesn't confuse people, it's just going to make people pick one over the other, and you never want that.
Yep.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, you know, if somehow James Gunn's listening, my recommendation is cut the Brave and the Bold movie. Let the Matt Reeves stuff be your Batman movies for a few years. Build up the DC universe with Superman and anything else that continues to be successful on this side, and then merge them in later on. Like when that trilogy is complete, merge them at that point.
It's like a weird opposite problem with Sony's no Spider-Man universe, as people like to call it, where they're not allowed to use Spider-Man, even though we know a Spider-Verse exists, thanks to... So, like, it's like a weirdly opposite problem where, like, you know, a Spider-Verse exists. You don't need to have these Spider-Man list films without him, kind of thing.
Yeah. Muteki says, surprised we haven't talked about Joker's sequel. That's because the first movie is just kind of okay for me, and I want to see the second movie. I don't really have any thoughts on it.
And the teaser came after that?
There was a trailer. I saw the trailer again when I saw Fall Guy, and I was like, wow, this is a well-crafted trailer, but we'll see how the movie turns out. Let's see. Mr. Nuki, that's a good thought. I'd be all right with Pattinson's Joker being a successor to Joaquin Phoenix. Like, kind of like that the Joaquin Phoenix one takes place in the past, and he becomes like an icon, and then the one that Pattinson goes up against is like the one looking at like, oh, that's my inspiration. That'd be kind of neat, actually. That'd be a different way to do Joker than we've seen. That's something there. Unique. Something there. That's a good idea. Hellfire Blue Beetle is sadly still trapped in the DCEU hellscape timeline that hopefully he will get dragged to safety.
I mean, thankfully there's nothing tying in that film to anything in the rest of DCU, so you can easily just say that Jaime in that movie is just in the new universe. You don't even need like a Miles Morales. You have to transfer him from one universe to the other. Just say that's just happen in the new universe. There's no
exactly. You can't.
There's nothing holding him back.
Yep. Jeremy Carr, Joker is Black Swan and Taxi Driver the new skin. Still enjoyed it, but nothing special. That's kind of how I feel about the movie, too. I'm like, I've seen all this in other movies that aren't adapting comic books. That's kind of like why I was kind of like, this is all right. Speaking of DC, I lined our stories up so nice today. Speaking of DC, McFarlane Toys revealed, wasn't just sitting on Todd's C2E2 table, the White Knight Batmobile and put it up for pre-order. It's 20 inches long, decked out in paint, and an exclusive to the McFarlane Toys store for $90.
Not bad.
Not bad.
You know,
I did not buy it, though.
Bigger, it is a much bigger vehicle versus the 89 vehicles. It makes sense why it's a little bit more.
It's a much larger than the 89 Batmobile. It doesn't come with a figure because of the paint. You know, there's a ton of paint on it versus the 89. It does fit the White Knight Batman, of course.
This Batmobile, a Batmobile design dies on. Do you like the design, and do you have the Batman to come alongside with it, kind of scenario?
Yep, I kind of wish they would have released the Batman alongside it, because he hasn't been out in a couple of years. It's not too bad price. Ultimately, I was like, I don't really want to spend $90.
I kind of wish they did the rebirth, for at least the current Batmobile, the Chip Zdarsky run. I love that Batmobile design.
I think they will. I think they're gonna do more Batmobiles. There's a listing for a Batman Forever Batmobile, and that's my favorite live-action Batmobile. So,
again, they could easily do the the car could easily release these, but Hell Charger, nope.
Right. I think this is always the move with 6-inch vehicles. Just scale them down a little bit, make them manageable. All right, so there's that. Next up, there is a 2-pack of Batman and Bane from Nightfall. These are mostly, I think this Bane is like a repaint where he's got like comic shading and some blue.
Bane.
They gave him his shoulder hair. I just noticed that.
Bane, I think, is a slight retool from the single release.
Yeah, he's got
Megafig.
2 fists now instead of one
Yeah,
open
instead of
hand.
grab. I'm glad because I missed out getting that
him.
the
Yeah.
single pack Bane. So I'm really glad. And he was really hard to find and on the
Mm.
aftermarket. So I'm glad they're re-releasing him.
As
And the
a J4
Batman.
Jason says, Beyond Mobile win. I'm actually waiting for the Batman Beyond Batmobile because we haven't had that. Yeah, for those unaware, Bane was drawn with shoulder hair back in Knight's Quest or Nightfall. Good lord, my brain.
Nightfall
Sometimes.
and Nightfall Batman is a battle damage where a wire cape was like, yes,
Yep.
I love after getting the Cassandra figure. I'm like, please more Batmans with wire or Batmans with more wire cape, please. I love the wire capes.
See, Bane has this like shoulder and back hair. It was the thing they drew him with.
He's like Logan. He's a hairy man.
Yep. And so there's that, and he comes with this Batman who's like a beat up Nightfall Batman with like tears in the costume and stuff, which is pretty cool.
And again, a wire cape.
Yeah. Ooh, Satargo says, I hope they do a Superman versus Doomsday, but this time base it off the Death of Superman versions. That'd be cool.
Well, they did that.
But they didn't do the Death of Superman versions. They did modern versions.
Oh, I thought that was based on the Death of Superman.
Nope.
But I guess
it was different ones.
Yeah. They have that pack. I like that pack a lot.
Yeah. The next wave of Batman retro figures includes this Batman. This is from the comic. Can the Batman be broken in the back? Yes, because McFarlane's have really good barbell joints in the torso.
They can arc back but not crunch that much.
Yeah, exactly. They arc back pretty good though, so that won't be an issue. This is a Batman from the comic. It's like a space suit, very Silver Age. We're getting a Nightwing, which looks like Burt Ward.
Because if you people who don't know, the Batman 66 is a comic sequel to the 1960 series. So yes, there was no Nightwing in the show because he was not even made yet. So
I don't remember if this is actually from the Batman 66 comic or if this was from the Wonder Woman 77 crossover, because they did this interesting thing where they did a crossover with Linda Carter's Wonder Woman where they meet in the 60s and then they in the first half and then the second half they meet in the 70s, and it shows like what happened to that Batman and Robin in the future, which was really cool.
I always love these like let's take something that was made after the thing and just kind of adapted to see how it works. I think I like this Nightwing. It's Disco Collar Nightwing, so he's the ultimate win. But it's like how like I don't get how people complain how like 97 is adapting stuff for Grant Morrison's X-Men. That didn't happen during the night. Like guys, the 90s series adapted
stuff. Open your minds, expand your horizons.
First off, the 92 series wasn't even adapting stuff from the 90s, adapting stuff from the 70s and 80s.
MJ Klein says, "Where can I get the rest of the Batman 66 comics?" They're reprinting the omnibus this year that has all the Batman 66 comics they've done that were like the sequels to the show that this line's based on. All those are coming out in an omnibus again this year. So if you're looking for it, that's probably the best, easiest one shot. Grab one book and get it all kind of thing. So. Speaking of which, we're getting a classic villain from the show who appeared in that comic as well, and it's Bookworm. Consider me hyped.
I love. Every time I hear these Z-list villains, I all can think of some Batmite scene from Brave the Bold. Like,
Bookworm was one of the ones created for the show.
I love these Z-grade villains. They're just like classic old bank robber people. You can just have hero A to Z to beat up.
Also, it does have the Batman Classic TV series logo, so it's not based on the comic book like the way the Batgirl figure was. It is actually based on the show, which is pretty cool.
That was mostly due to I think likeness rights, right?
It was likeness rights because Yvonne Craig's state has been it's very expensive to get Yvonne Craig's likeness. So Todd was like, "Fine, it's Batgirl from the comic. What you gonna do now?"
It's the whole we get Andrew Garfield head because it's based on Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
Not No Way.
And then we're getting an Alfred finally. Yeah, we're finally getting an Alfred. Hey. We had Alfred as Batman, but now we got actual Alfred. So
good. We need more Alfreds in our collections.
Muteki says, "When are we getting Ma Parker?" I don't know. Do you mean Aunt Harriet? I don't know who Ma Parker is, but Aunt Harriet, Dick Grayson's aunt that existed in the show.
But
was Ma Parker the actress? I don't remember now. Oh my god.
Well,
yeah.
There was. She might have. I don't remember.
Aunt Harriet.
I'm just thinking of the real Ma Barker, who was a real life thug.
Yeah. She was played by Madge Blake. That's what I thought. I was like, that's not.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
Aunt Harriet. It's Aunt Harriet Cooper, the villain from the
Scotty said-
1960s episode.
Yeah,
Scotty
Ma Parker,
said
the
not Ma
gangster.
Parker with the
Oh,
gangster.
okay. Yeah, no, maybe.
Yeah, Ma Parker was the real life.
Ma Parker from Madam Web. What happens in Madam Web, guys? That movie hits Netflix soon, right? I can watch it without spending extra money. Ma Parker is in the 66ers. Okay. Oh my god. Batman Ma Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Oh.
Ma Parker is in the 66 with a P, yeah.
God. Wow, I completely forgot about her.
I said Shelley Winters.
Yeah. Yeah, here she is. Oh. Excuse me, we went to intermission for half a second. I was
Shelley
so
Winters.
confused, but now I understand. She was also in Brave and the Bold. Look at that. She slipped into that show too. Guys, I'm gonna be honest. This is now my number one most wanted figure for this line.
Again, we need random gangsters A to Z to fight to fight hero A to Z. Be great, that's why the Hood is a great just random bad guy figure. He's just such a Joe. He's just a Joe Schmo. You can have anybody beat him up.
I love this shot of her with a cigar.
And if anyone asked who robbed you, it was Golden Joe and the Suggins gang. And then they shoot Suggins.
All I can remind me of is the Ditko Spider-Man gangster era.
Yes.
That's all I can think of.
Like, were bullets free back then?
Yeah. Oh, here they were in the Scooby-Doo comic, I think.
Of course they did. Of course they referenced 60s in Scooby-Doo.
Oh my god. Thank you all for informing me about this character I forgot about. Alright. Robin, Tim Drake, is this his most recent costume?
Rebirth. Yeah, it's his Rebirth, but it's pretty much the same costume.
It's not his Red Robin Rebirth. It's his later Robin Rebirth.
Yeah, it's practically it's what he's currently wearing, and it's my favorite Tim outfit. So I'm glad they're releasing this.
He's got a cloth cape and a wire too. I like this as a thing.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, he does. I didn't know.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yep. Let's look at it. I looked at it close earlier because I was like, "Is he like Cassandra?" And come up, look at that. You see the wire, and you can see the seam line. And you can see that it's 2 layers of fabric, so it's yellow on the inside, black on the out.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait. This figure's even better now.
See, every time Todd McFarlane says a dumb thing, I get shown a figure like this, and I just kind of let it go.
Well, all right, Todd.
We got to be getting a Stephanie Brown soon, right? Like that's.
Please, we just need her and Luke Fox Batwing because we have what was the name of the previous Batwing?
David something.
Yeah, we have it, but I want the Luke Fox.
I thought you were going to say David Schwimmer. I was like, what?
We just need him. We just need Luke and Stephanie to complete the full Bat family.
We're so close. I mean, once we get either of them, I'll probably actually buy that set with Batwoman in it. Smith the Crow says it's Toddy Mac's world and we're living in it. Feels like it because he's making all the moves the other toy companies don't. You know, he really is. He really is making those moves that you don't see the others doing. Which is commendable because I think that's what you need. You need some people to shake things up every once in a while. All right. You guys ready for this? You guys ready for the most shocking reveal from Bandai in the last week?
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Stars Prince Beelzebub from Sandland.
And specifically Dragon
the
Stars.
Shocking thing. Yeah, exactly. The fact that it's Dragon Stars, not Sandland.
Not Sandland, not Anime Heroes, specifically Dragon Stars.
That's great.
You think he'll show up in Sparking?
I
think he's going to be in Sparking Zero now. I
want him to be a guest. I give him a full guest
appearance, right? Was it Tenkaichi before? Might as well.
Yeah, if I want Arale to be there. I want him to be in Sparking Zero. You know, he's not from Dragon Ball Smith the Crow. He's from Sandland, which is another Akira Toriyama work, but it's not a Dragon Ball series officially. Even if his father looks exactly like Dabura.
Laura,
which he does.
Man, it's great. I never thought they'll do a Beelzebub for Bandai America at least. So
and especially one that gives him that expression. Do you guys see how he's like that doing the kind of evil grin look? Like Dragon Stars usually go for like the flat faces or the angry faces and nothing else.
Yeah. So it's nice that he has an expression, which is great. Because I was gonna pick up the figure, but seeing this, like Yeah, I'm gonna pick this one up. It's the same money.
JoJo Star made a reference there. This is basically like that. Yeah.
This reminds me how JoJo Figure Line made Boa one of Araki's other manga
Powell. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Robot, are the Dragon Stars figures any good? Yeah, they've gotten much better. They were kind of shaky at the start, but Bandai America's been pumping out hits lately.
Bandai America's
Dragon
design
Stars are really good now. They even got like
Mhm.
2.0s that are better now.
Yeah,
they've been
Go back. Basically, they're good, and they even go back and fix the ones that would have been bad.
and they're affordable. They're like they're
Yes,
22
yeah, they're like
bucks.
$20.
It's like $20.
I have a bunch from when I had money.
Yeah, I just think they're probably just going to be Beelzebub because he's the only action character you can really do.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't even... Thief's not even a fully articulated figure on the figure art. He's like a little statue.
So I'll probably pick up the figure art Rao and Thief and hopefully on the D2 Maker. I really hope they do.
I hope at least we get a figure arts on, because...
Yeah, just to complete the crew.
Yeah.
You're missing out money if you don't, honestly.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess
the figure art for everyone to remember what the figure art looks like, and here's the Dragon Stars. So I'll
guess they could do Mumiel, but he's such a jerk ass. I don't want him.
Mumiel, so you know.
If they do Commander Bread, maybe because he's cool. I like Commander Bread a lot.
So there's your side by side. If anybody's wondering, I bought the figure art. I'll get this. I will do a video comparing the two. It will happen. It'll probably be a short, because those seem to do better for, like, you know, figure reviews. But like, I will do a comparison of both when this comes out.
I pray to the gods that Bandai America makes a cheap tank. If they had to make a hollow and don't put any weathering, that's fine. I just want a cheap tank.
Spin Dash brought up one of the weird things about Dragon Stars. He said this Dragon Stars, the same product line they called Ultimate Gohan, Mystic Gohan, which has been a fan term. They also call
fan term.
they're so weird sometimes because they call like Kid Buu. They call Kid Buu Buu Final Form, which is technically more accurate.
Omega Shinron's called like Super Shin. I think Omega Shinron was called like Super Shin.
Let me go look him up. Let me go look him up real quick. Because I remember, he also has like a scary accurate name.
Yeah, it's like a direct translation or something like that.
Wait, is it just one star? Is it Yi Xing Long?
It was
Super Yi. Super Yi Shinron.
Which is technically because isn't Omega Shinron the dub just the dub name, right?
Yeah. Sin and Omega just dubisms.
Yeah,
they were just named after the number.
Super Yi Shinron, yeah.
E is 1 in Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
R is 2.
So it's
even spelled. It's even spelled SHIN Ron, like too.
Right, they spell it with they put E like Chinese, but then they spell it like Japanese with Shinron instead of Shenlong.
I think what happened was because when the Ultimate Gohan figure came out, that was during the early years of Dragon Star, during the Build-A-Figure year era. So I feel like ever since they
dropped Build-A-Figures, the line's been popping.
Yeah, because
they say the same thing for Marvel Legends because they haven't fully dropped Build-A-Figures, but they close to it.
Well, also like I think that's during. Also, I think that was around the same time as the merger of Bandai America and Bluefin merged to Bandai Namco Toys and Collectibles. I think they just use the names that the parent company just used, so they've just been using all the direct translation names and such like that.
They say SS on the box, right? Not SSJ.
Let me see. Super Saiyan. Yeah, just Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, guess what, guys? SH Figure Art Senkocho Seiho Gridman is a Digimon. You can say Gridman's a Digimon officially now because he is a P Bandai exclusive in Japan, but he is getting a US retail release and is up on retailers such as Tokusatsu and Amazon. So it's like how the Digimon figure arts have been.
He is $100, but it's a Seiho, so I don't mind it honestly. $100 is fine.
Beats importing, for sure. So.
I'm glad because I know because the Ultraman have been slowly getting to release in the US, so but I doubt there'd be some weird rights because the whole Gridman license.
The important distinction here is that it's not on P Bandai US; it's on Amazon, it's on Tokusatsu, that kind of thing. So. He's a wide release in the US, which is cool. All right, next up. Did you guys know that back in 2013, Kyoryuger made Mini-Pla? That's not a shock considering every Bandai thing every Sentai has done Mini-Pla for the last, 15 years, right? 20 years. They have revived the Mini-Pla Kyoryuger branding to give us a Kyoryuger Dark based on the new Gabutira mold that was presented in the King Kyoryugen Mini-Pla set for King Oger. I did it in one take.
Because of course I made you Kyoryuger.
Oh, that was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was waiting. I was like, he's gonna stumble. He's gonna stumble.
I didn't stumble.
Oh, you didn't stumble.
All right. Anyways, pretty much it's that Kyoryugen. But this time, Stagochi and Drosera came along for the ride because while the full action Kyoryugen included all 3 components, the Mini-Pla only Mini-Pla goes back to Changeman. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. So, Scotty, don't worry about it. Just keep up with best you can. Anyways, so with this, you're getting the arms now, which weren't included before, which also means this set also comes with the regular colored arms for the Gabutira that was in the King Kyoryugen set that included the 4 King Oger mechas to make that combo. If you want the arms for that, now they're making them now in this set. It's a premium Bandai set, but they did show the comparison between 2013 and 2024, and that's honestly impressive. Look at that, guys. Look how far they've come in just 11 years. Holy cow. I'm super impressed by this, because
they're no longer bricks, and they're color separated.
Yep.
Oh, so
they're not single color plastic with a ton of stickers. They're like color separated and everything. And then here's the Drosera one as well, which is pretty great. It's pretty great. I think this is a huge upgrade. So, pretty impressive. And then the last thing, so here it is. Here's the combination with the full Kyoryugen now. Looks good, looks good. There's the 2013 one, which doesn't look as good as the 2024. They're really doing a good job with Mini-Pla these days.
No, he does kind of have floating feet.
Are pretty good.
No, he does kind of have floating feet syndrome, though.
He does have floating feet syndrome. The deluxe full action one has that problem too. It's just because the way the King Oger combination part of it comes into play. And then, of no surprise, they're doing Shoto Super Kyoryuger. Prepare your wallets. The onslaught begins June 2024. Yeah, there's going to be, I mean, how many sets is it going to be? 4, 5, 6?
They could go insane if they make one giant 10 set.
I think they won't, because you also have Death Ryuger and you have Carnival. And you have the alternate gender versions of 3 of them. So...
Well, that'll be a separate 10. That'll be a separate 10 set.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot. We're going to see. King Kyoryugen comes out this month. That's right. I remember that. So that was the Mini-Pla update. All right. Next thing, in the craziness that is Bandai, Complete Selection Modification, Chalice Rouser, and Chalice Buckle is official. You guys ready to look at this insane thing? So, Chalice's belt, not too hard to make, but because they've done the Rousers for Blade and Garen, they're making the Chalice one. That's crazy, because that thing's a freaking bow. And it's huge. And they're kind of nuts. It's over 4 feet long. Yeah, Kai's sword's not that long.
Yeah, but it was still big.
It was still big. This is by far the biggest CSM. I think it's it's either the most expensive or second most expensive. It comes with 2 different buckles, so you can have the regular Chalice, or no, not 2 different buckles. You can remove some parts or something. I don't remember exactly how that works. I actually haven't seen Blade, but it's got the full bow mode here, and you get the folded form of it. It's gonna have to ship folded. I don't think it splits up. So, good lord. I know there was this thing of they're not bringing CSM belts over anymore. And is this one of the reasons why? Did no one want to pay the freight cost for this?
The shipping will be a nightmare.
Yep. Confusing the shipping and customs people with this one. You're right, JoJo Star. There's all 28 cards it includes, which is all pretty loaded. And yeah, it is going to go for 69,300 yen, releasing in June. Well, no, it's not June 30th. Orders open April 30th. They close June 30th. And I don't remember when it ships. Let's find out. Translate button, translate. Here we go. Click. It comes out When does it come out? Why does it not say here? December 2024? December 2024. Okay. Yeah, there you guys go. One more comparison, because Spin Dash posted the pictures from the P Bandai page. There is the... Actually, let me zoom in here. Don't save the image, Google. Okay, come on. All right, here we go. Sorry, I feel like I'm screwing things up. I'm so used to editing my videos that, like, when I do things live, sometimes I overthink it, and we get here. So here is a comparison between the Chalice Arrow with the deluxe one versus the CSM Blade Rouser. So, my goodness, guys. Thoughts, feelings, concerns for everybody's spaces and wallets?
Here's
How,
the thing,
130 centimeters.
here's the thing. Do you think the reason why they probably stopped doing the CMS release because at this point they're not toys anymore, they're literal weapons?
I think so.
That, that looks like you could just,
I think you could whack somebody with it.
Yeah,
it
legit.
Hurt. Yeah.
I'm looking at the size of it. I'm like, okay.
Yep. Anyways, there's that.
Keep it near your bed, when you get it. So you're not. I feel like you.
What was that?
Next thing I know, I say if you get it, keep it near your bed.
Yeah. Could you imagine if it actually fired arrows? You just start like shooting from a distance. Oh my god.
I can't wait for the the CSM rocket, full-on prop-sized rocket state arms.
Oh, speaking of, if you guys want just the belt, they're selling just the belt too. You don't have to buy the giant arrow. I forgot to mention that.
They're not strangle holding you.
Yeah, they're not strangle holding you. Going, you have to buy the arrow if you want the belt. You can just get the belt if you want the belt. So, let's see. Next up, we're gonna go with some quick Transformers news because there wasn't much this week, but there was stuff that I thought was significant enough to mention. I missed this last week. Missing Link, the next release seems to be Bumblebee, who is done up in toy style here, with his, his like old head, and it looks to be like the old Bumblebee, but with articulation, the way that the Optimus Prime was.
It will still probably cost $100.
Probably still will. There also is a Cliff Jumper, which is not too surprising either, because it's a minor retool. And they are doing that. So it's listed as C3 and C4, Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper. More details on that in the future. All right.
Will they ever do Missing Link Megatron?
They will never do Missing Link Megatron. Even Takara doesn't want to make a literal Browning. All right. In other news, Takara has been releasing different paint scheme versions of Hasbro's Transformers Earthspark toys. Like this version of Thrash, it's a little bit more
back
painted.
We're back to the good old days of the car making better figures than Hasbro. Like the Trash looks so much better than the Hasbro version. So much.
It does.
They use the actual good white instead of the kind of disgusting creamy white they use for Hasbro's.
Yeah, that's true. That is a much better white color. Even though I think he's supposed to be more silver, right? Or is he supposed to? I don't remember.
He's got a middle in between that kind of white and the silver.
Anyways, we're getting we're getting the Cyberverse Prowl repainted into Earthspark Prowl, and you're probably wondering, well, why is that a big deal? And why are you making a news story out of it? Well, the fun part is that when Hasbro did their Prowl, it was also a repaint of a Cyberverse toy, and it was a Cyberverse Hot Rod repaint that looked pretty much nothing like Prowl.
And it's essentially like the front of the box.
Yep, and they even like painted the light bar in where the engine block was. And you can see the picture of Prowl on the show, which I don't think we've seen Prowl on the show, right?
Okay, he's a season 2 character, probably.
But you can see that like they don't look whatsoever. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kyle, for noticing I didn't switch my card. Appreciate it.
What are you talking about now? This is clearly Earthspark checkpoint, right?
Right. So Takara said, you know what? If you're going to repaint a Cyberverse toy to Prowl, why not repaint Prowl into Prowl?
And he at least looks similar to the box art at the very least.
At least he looks a little closer, you know?
Actually, I'll say the Cyberverse Prowl is actually pretty underrated. I think it's actually a really good Prowl toy, honestly.
Yeah, it looks great. Anyways, that's your funny news story of the week. Transformers 1, here's some more things that they think kids will want. One-step changes, I think, are not that bad because there is some fun to have in that.
My only problem with one-step changes is their price. I think they're great pocket toys, but $10, no, thank you.
Hey, Ghost Trains. Yeah, no, I think for $10, these are a little much. But they look fine. Arachnid's technically a better transformation than the Prime toy.
I mean, there's also nice close-ups of Wheeljack and Arachnid.
Yeah.
Also, their movie designs.
It's nice. You can see them on the box art too, so you can kind of see how they look in the movie a little bit better than just the shot in the trailer. $5 would be great. $8 would be probably more realistic.
$8 is where I was going to say, like,
yeah.
Man, that seems more. But I mean, it's one of those ones where like I can see most people like, I'll take the hit, but they really should have went with 8.
Yeah, because they flip, and you can like flip them, and they spring load back into vehicle mode. I think they're fun, but yeah, for 10, no, $8, sure.
Yeah, they're good. Again, they're a good little desk toy. You get bored and it's like you flick them down and they transform. It's great.
5 would have been even better, but yeah, like you said, realistically.
Okay, Robot Battlers? What the hell is going on here?
So, they're Rock'em Sock'em robots, from what I understand, that can transform. Is the best way of this, from what I can tell by the pictures. Pretty much like that. You stick them on the little stand, and they just kind of,
Do they
fight.
glow?
No, there's Rock'em Sock'em robots. You put them on the stand.
It doesn't even look like they Rock'em Sock'em. I think they just wiggle their arms up and down.
Yeah, practically. Yeah, that's what they pretty much are.
Lame.
I mean, my Rock'em Sock'em Spider-Man and Venom actually.
It does remind me. Well, you guys remember during RID 15 era of those weird Rock'em Sock'em robot toys they made of Transformers? They were all like robot battlers or something like that.
Something like that. Hey,
here's a revival of that. I got his first sort of look of what he looks like, barely.
I don't mean to be mean, but like, guys,
I do.
Man,
Hasbro, what y'all doing with kids? Like, you're just.
I
don't know.
I was looking back on some old Marvel Toy Biz commercials, and man, I miss. Like, you could at least have like toys of that, or I'll remember. I wish you had like something like those Hero Mashers again. Like those are really fun kid toys.
I'm thinking of these from like a kid's perspective, and I'm like, is a kid really gonna flap Optimus's arms up and down for hours? No. They're gonna get bored with that pretty quick.
Like the Warriors with the action feature, I think that's fine for kids. Like Fast Actor Battlers were the same thing. But these are just like shell space fillers, honestly.
This is kind of neat though. It's an Orion Pax that looks terrible that turns into a pretty decent looking Optimus that then
I do like this
somehow.
I like this figure. I think out of all the kids,
cool.
I like this. I like to call this Digivolving Orion Pax from rookie to champion to ultimate to mega.
That's what it kind of reminds me of for sure. And it's just as janky as those toys were.
Yeah, this is like a kid's toy. This is like a kid's toy I could see like people can have fun with. Because this is one of those like you'll buy it for the for the movie accuracy. You buy it for the fun play value of this thing.
Guys, he power flips. Kaus, what do you think of Power Flip? Is that the future toys?
Well, I do miss my old.
No.
When I say miss, I still have them.
No, it's like the OG1 commercials. I'm a video gamer. I'm a skateboarder. I'm a transformer.
Basically, Infinity War Torn brings up a very good point. These are made for parents that don't want to transform the toys for their kids. I have noticed that with the Kids Aim Transformers, they have been trying to get them down to 1-step, 2-step, like barely any transformation, but still qualifies as a transformation. And I mean, look, there's a lot to be said that, like, me as a kid playing with Transformers and Megazords and Digimon figures, I probably picked up a lot of ingenuity and dexterity in my hands, like, and puzzle solving.
By transform, and then you look at your hands at transforming Revenge of the Fallen Mixmaster, go, oh, ow.
Yep, but learning experiences. I think that Hasbro's gotten a little too, like, too many transformation steps means it's not approachable for kids. Is like the toy equivalent of we need to simplify the fighting game controls because that's the problem with people not playing it.
Exactly.
Right. Like kids have.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I mean,
also kids aren't stupid. I love.
Okay. I feel like that's not a fully same comparison because I feel like with simplified controls, there are just people who can't do input commands.
Yeah, but that's not what's bringing the casuals in.
Yeah, but
combat doesn't do it.
Yeah, but I still think at least simplified controls has a purpose because there might be people.
Well, the problem I always have with the way that they do it is they're like here, like with Street Fighter where they let you switch between. love that. That's how I like
Yeah.
to see it,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
That's how you do something like that. That's
But
the
not like
best you
Street
want.
Fighter 5 where they're like, it's simple now and you're gonna like it. And it's like, but
Yeah,
I want the other controls.
I think. I think more and
Yeah.
more my problem with Hasbro Kids stores. You look at the Marvel Epic Hero stuff, and then you look at the Spin Master DC, and one line looks better than the other, and one's cheaper also.
Yep. Yeah, because
'Cause,
looking at any
man,
of this, like if I had a kid, I'd just buy him the Warrior
every
class
time
or
I see
something.
that X-Men Epic Heroes like multi-pack, God, they look bad. Their sculpts are so bad, and
Yeah.
God, the X. I look at I saw the commercial, the original Toy Biz Blackbird, and then I look at the Hasbro Epic Heroes one.
Mhm.
I go, what? Like, they're a smaller scale. You could do more fun things with them with a smaller scale, but nope.
And I think some people are talking about like, with parents and kids and such, and it's like I think Hasbro in a way, like a lot of companies, is trying to solve a problem that may not exist. They're thinking, oh, our toys are too complicated for kids. But it's like I think like if you handed a kid like Legacy Gears, they'd probably figure it out. He's not that involved. Whereas, like, yeah, some of the movie stuff, like Revenge of the Fallen, was too far, but they backed away since. But like, I think something like Legacy Gears, a kid could figure this out fine, and it's rated at ages 4 and up, anyways. It's just the price points, Yeah. Infinity War Torn says, I can't remember which. I'm going with this because Infinity War Torn has kids, so good perspective to have in this conversation. I can't remember which Transformers movie sequel it was, but they started simplifying them because of parent backlash, supposedly. But my 3-year-old can transform Earthspark Twitch fine. Yeah, I think most kids can figure
It was
things
Age of
out.
Extinction.
Age of Extinction, yeah.
Age of Extinction was when they
Kids
real
are
epic.
not as stupid as you think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Age of Extinction was the start of blank numbers to transform steps. That was the beginning of that. Because remember, before that was when they were gonna just upscale Legends figures to be deluxes in Prime. Never get that before that got canceled. And before that got canceled, just got pushed to Canada.
Yeah. Infinity War Torn says, kids are smarter than they think, / kids have to start somewhere. That second part, I will speak to this because when I was working in an IT department, we had some new hires who were like, oh, I know how to use technology, but they knew how to use smartphones and tablets, and I had to teach them how to work a PC. Because they were like fresh out of high school, and they had only ever used like touch-based, app-based stuff, and I had to teach them how to use the computer stuff that we were actually using in the job. And not every job is like welcoming to that. So it's kind of a similar vibe to that, where it's like, if you make it too simple, they're not going to learn, the engine. I feel like I learned ingenuity lessons from Transformers as a kid. Peacemaker, good point. These things have manuals and kids can read, so I don't know why we're trying to oversimplify this. Even if you can't read, it doesn't have any words. It's just pictures.
Lego.
Also,
yeah, I was going to mention Lego's right there.
Yeah. Exactly. Mr. Yuki said that the same problem with government job with interns. They pay so much money and learn no skills. Yeah, I feel like I taught more to our IT, like our new IT people. I taught them more than the training and the orientation did. So, oh yeah, Age of Extinction was also the cost cutting Benjamin Weisman brought up. That's a good point.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, that's our little tangent about that. Let's talk about toys that I specifically want, and I don't care if anybody else cares because it's what I want to talk about. So. Diamond Select's Muppets line I thought was dead, and then they announced that they brought Deadly and Rizzo out of cancellation hell. Now they finally announced something new, which is Sweetums and Robin. You probably can't notice Robin because Robin's the little frog nephew of Kermit sitting in Sweetum's hand.
Oh no! The way to describe it, all I can think is the Poe Dameron line from Rise of Skywalker. Somehow, Diamond Select Muppets returns.
Yeah. Yes. Somehow Diamond Select Muppets return. Outside of some repacks they did, annoyingly, they did this box set that included a couple new little figures, like the little bear and like something else. I didn't buy that because I already had all the figures inside of it.
It's one of those catch up line big box sets, pretty much.
Right, and me and my dad have been collecting these, and we've been buying all the recent releases, and we bought like the Electric Mayhem box set that comes in their bandstand. And then so I'm stoked for this.
How are the Diamond Select Muppets? Because I grew up with the Palisades figures.
I don't think they're as good as the Palisades ones, but I think they're damn near close. Like they're the best we're gonna get, and I think it's great. And I mean, he looks fantastic, and we'll see more of him. He's a deluxe release too. He is going to be just he's going to come with Robin though to kind of balance it out. I love the Muppets, and I wish that Disney did. So,
are you gonna watch that Jim Henson documentary that's coming out?
Most likely, yes. Considering here's the thing: Jim Henson documentary coming up has stiff competition from Defunctland's Jim Henson documentary. So, all right. Speaking of figures and sort of bringing things back, NECA did a Planet of the Apes line about 10 years ago, and because of Kingdom coming out, they thought, let's re-release them. And I think they did this specifically because I was thinking to myself, weren't there NECA Planet of the Apes figures, and they were going for a bunch of money? And
the NECA style, NECA from their like Hightower. Look, Sal's watching the Planet of the Apes movie. Re-release them.
They're like, he's watching the movies. There's a new movie coming out. He ran out of monsters to buy. Quick, get them! And then so they get re-releases. So the way this is working is that this is a re-release of Zira, Gorilla Soldier, General Ursus, and Dr. Zaius. The original line had 3 waves. The third one was a Comic-Con wave, exclusive wave that became a Target exclusive later. First wave was Cornelius, Zira, and Dr. Zaius. The second wave was the first wave was Cornelius, Zira, Dr. Zaius, and the Gorilla Soldier. And then wave 2 was... It was waves of 3. There was 2 waves of 3. That was my point, based on the original film. This is 4 of the 6 figures. There was 2 versions of Dr. Zaius. There was Cornelius, Zira, General Soldier, and General Ursus. So what they've done here is that they've done these 4, but no Cornelius, who is the Roddy McDowall character, the original. So it's kind of weird he'd be excluded, unless the next wave is going to be Cornelius plus Caesar, the Conquest Ape, and General Aldo, which were the 3 that were harder to get as they were Comic-Con and Target exclusives. I don't know if they're going to re-release the second Dr. Zaius version. I don't care if they do, really, because I don't like Zaius that much. He's a lying jerk. But they're re-releasing these. Hopefully they release their Dawn of the Planet of the Apes line. Would be great to see a re-release, and maybe they get to do Kingdom. I don't know. I'm just excited to at least get these 4 again, because they're coming out exactly how they were before, with the boxes pretty much the same, except they did change the cross-sell to show what is in this new assortment. So I'm hoping that these do well. On Big Bad, the single sold out, and you can only order the set of 4 now. So that's a good sign, right? I'm getting all 4, because I love these movies now, and I'm so glad that they're re-releasing them, because these look great. And, yeah. So hopefully they re-release the other figures, especially the ones from Conquest, because Conquest is my favorite of the Planet of the Apes movies, of the original ones. So, yeah, there you go. Boom, boom, pictures that I probably should have scrolled through earlier. But point is, they're re-releasing them, which is great. Sidar goes, will Dr. Zaius have a box set with his backup dancers? I wish. I wish. Good times. All right, let's talk about Blu-ray news, guys. I know we've been waiting to do the Commoner thing. We've been going... I always love when we are like, it's light news. We'll be done early. And then we just go long. Because we're like, we have time. Let's talk about these other things. Kaiju says he may be a liar, but he does have a lovely singing voice. That's true. Smith the Crow, when's the figures based on the Tim Burton movie? Probably never. Cameron says, will you be doing a viewing guide for Planet of the Apes? Nope, but I will be doing a disc discussion about the Planet of the Apes, which is basically the same thing.
Same thing.
Yep. All right. We're talking about Dexter's Lab first instead of Commentator. We got packaging art for the Dexter's Lab complete DVD set that's coming up, which is pretty cool.
Finally.
Does this come with the movie?
We don't know, because it just says all 6 seasons, which is a production order term, because there was only 4 in airing. And it has a runtime of... Where's the runtime? People were talking about the runtime. The runtime is long enough it could include the movie.
I really hope, because that is an important part of the series.
It likely doesn't include the banned episodes, though.
Yeah. Also, I do like the packaging. I do like the packaging of it. That was just Dexter.
I like that it's a slipcover.
Mm-hmm.
And his glasses are cut out so that you have like the box underneath.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah.
I love unique packaging like that.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of the Adventure Time, the macabre sets where each layer is if each layer is a part of the body. So like the outside is their face, then you remove it, and like when you get to the disc, it's like their like brain or skeleton.
Oh my God. That'd be great.
It's macabre, but that's all I can remind of those.
Yeah. Let's see. Mr. Juki said someone did the math on Discord. In theory, it should have the movie, the pilots, and the banned episode. That'd be great if that could be the case. Because I would like to see a complete set be an actual complete set, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
For
I know, right? 'Cause
especially
that was
for
the
Dexter.
I mean, essentially, that was the problem with the Fosters and Eddie sets.
Mhm.
And why I didn't pick those up, because they're not complete sets.
Media Blasters. We've been talking about them. They are
All right,
finally
all right, Kamen Rider news people,
Kamen
come
Rider
out,
news. Come back from the fold.
like
I'm
the
done
stream.
talking about apes.
Oh.
We're talking about Kamen Rider.
Like the stream.
Hit the like button now, because I'm doing Kamen Rider. All right. Media Blasters had, for recap, they had announced a while back they're going to do Kamen Rider Shin, Zeto, and J, the 3 movies from the 90s. They also announced they're going to do Kamen Rider World. They officially have decided how they're doing this. This will be 2 releases. The first release, which is the guaranteed release at this point. Oh, Smith the Crow did the math. Thank you for doing the math on Dexter's. All right. This is the premium elite collection is what they're calling it. This will include Shin, Zeto, J. It will include World, additional artwork, high-end packaging, and other extras to be announced only in this version. So this is the page on Media Blasters' website, which you have to order it from. It's an exclusive there. They did not put a limited edition number. They said they were only going to do 1,000 copies. It hasn't sold out yet, but it's been popping off. Apparently been selling really well. It will contain all 3. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
That's good, because I was worried I was not doing well, because it's, Toku fans.
We'll talk about the price in a moment, right? But this contains Shin, Zeto, J, plus Kamen Rider World.
Is this... Yeah. Is this a Mortal Kombat set also? It's a collection with a K.
They put collection with a K. The Media Blasters guys are.
Is it Shin? Is it because of Shin? Is it because Shin does probably the Mortal Kombat next?
Keep in mind, this is the packaging art from the Japanese Blu-ray box set, which is probably something similar to what they use. They don't really commission new art for Media Blasters releases.
I don't think they have money. I don't think they have money to do it.
So if you want the Kamen Rider World short, apparently they had to pay a lot extra for it, and it was going to be it's going to be included. So you get the 3 movies, and there will be bonuses. And they say that the target release date is summertime, with the exact date to be announced soon. Only the direct sales Elite Collection will contain Kamen Rider World. That is not a super huge loss if you guys don't want to buy the Elite Collection. But they did say additional Blu-ray box set configurations will be announced soon. So if you want just the movies, just wait it out.
Upfront? Is it also upfront? It's also upfront pay, right?
Yes.
From what I understand,
it's upfront payment. You can use PayPal or Venmo. Those are the only 2 options, and that's because Media Blasters sells 18+ stuff. So that means that you can't use like Shop Pay.
Shopify, yeah.
You pay for it up front. It's $69.99. That's a lot of money. I totally get that. Kaiju number 1954 is kind of where I'm at in this boat, where he said I could honestly stomach $70 for this set over the $80 on the Geet set. I'm in the same boat because this is. I'll explain why. This is a limited release from a small, and I mean small company. Media Blasters had a lot more employees when they did Voltron. They are very small now. And it's a very expensive license, and it's going to be like the ultimate collector's edition. They're going to premium box set it up. Works for me. It may not work for everybody, because it is only about 3 hours of movies. So...
I mean, well, let's see. Let's do the math. So if you were to separate these 3 movies, how much would they be?
At the price point it's at, we have to separate it into fourths because they are counting Kamen Rider World as a fourth
world.
movie.
That's, and then so that's how.
So if you split 70 times 4, divide by 4, that's $17.50 a movie, which isn't that bad.
And plus, and also licensing. There's that totally license. They had to pay for, so they had to make money back.
And if you split it in thirds, it's about $23.34 a movie, which is also not bad.
That's not bad for. That's a box. This is a movie box set. With practically 4 movies. World's not long, but still,
Smith the Crow worked it out as $20 a movie and then $10 for World. That that's about right too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be up to the specific collector, kind of like what we talked about the G.I. Joe hardcovers, right? If you want the premium collector's edition that has like everything, this is going to be for you. But if you want just the movies and a more price affordable package or more spread out, sounds like they're going to be doing those as well. And they also did say they're not going to be doing a big fancy set for the first and the next because they're not as loved. So we don't know what the bonus features are yet.
But still, it's it's. I would say it'll be hypocritical if people did not pick this up because the price might pick up the Geet set. Even though honestly, the value of this makes more sense than the Geet set. Honestly, I'm still not happy about the Geet set not having the movie.
I'm not happy with Geets being a bare bones release of a recent show from a company as big as Shout, because Shout is like 100 times larger than Media Blasters. And it's not, because Geets is not a comparable product to the rest of what Shout has put out. It is in Shout's line of $50 Kamen Rider Blu-rays, it costs $70, right? Or $80. Well, it's $80 on the Shout site, right?
Yeah.
In a line of $50 Blu-rays, Shout's Geets set is $80. In a line of $15 movies, this set is $20 per movie, right? And with the $10 for World and the extras. Like, that works for me. It doesn't work. It may not work for everybody. Putting $70 up front, down payment, not going to work for everybody. I totally get that. Just like the Geets price didn't work for me. I didn't buy Geets. It is, one of those things of, if you want to see it continue, you support it. But if you don't feel like spending your money on it, then don't force yourself to do it either.
It's one of those. You had to kind of look at the value. You kind of had to look at the value of what you're getting, and also just kind of the look around, kind of thing. You look with the Geet set. You look around and you go, "Why is this more expensive than other sets?" With this, knowing the company and the other, because this is going to be more.
And they've been upfront about how expensive the license is. I'm like, Shout never said anything. We assume the Geets license was more expensive because of the recent show. Shout never confirmed that to us. Media Blasters told us that Kamen Rider World was very expensive and all the movies in general were very expensive. So, we know that that's
they're even more open about it than Discotek.
Yeah, they really are. Welcome back,
and the quality, the quality is probably going to be around the same as Discotek.
Because I have the Media Blasters Blu-rays for Hokkaido, for Zayram, for Zayram 2, for Zebraman, for Zebraman 2, for even the crappy Devilman movie. And they are all excellent releases. And several of those are Toei. So I think they're going to do a great job with it. And Zeto and Jay are two of my favorite movies of all time. So I will be buying it mostly for them and the Kamen Rider World special. And then Shin's kind of a nice bonus.
And since they are in talks again, there is going to be some bonus features. You are getting a complete package of these movies.
Yeah.
It is going to be a one.
And even the bonus features, just like image galleries, that's something. The Geets, the Geets, for example, doesn't have anything else, right?
Yeah, this is your one to go. Yeah. You want this trilogy plus World? Get this set if you really love these movies. Kind of scenario.
And if you only love Zeto and Jay and you don't care about having World on disc, then just buy Zeto and Jay. You know what I mean? Or if you just want Zeto, like they're gonna put the singles out. They're just gonna be bare bones releases. Yeah, I know they have been answering questions, and we're not sure if they're gonna get the behind the scenes stuff, but we'll see. We'll probably get trailers for sure because we have trailers on Hokkaido. We have behind the scenes on Hokkaido, so it's possible. No, personally speaking, I did order this. Of course, I got paid the day this went up for order. So, planets aligned for that. Yeah, good timing.
I would have bought a free comic book tape. Wasn't the same week.
Yeah, it's still up for pre-order though, which is good. And I think if it sells really, really well, they'll probably add some more units to it. And yeah, I mean, you make your own choices. International shipping. This come up. You can't get it shipped directly internationally through the website. What John said to do, and you can check the Media Blasters Twitter if you want to confirm these words. If you are trying to import this, they will ship it internationally, but you will have to pay the shipping fee because they didn't. Oh, by the way, that's another thing. Free shipping if you're ordering it in the U.S. It's free shipping. I think maybe the U.S. I don't know about Canada, but if you're outside the U.S., tell them in the notes of the order that you're outside the U.S. and provide your shipping address. And they will apparently invoice you the shipping costs later. Go check the Media Blasters Twitter for more details, but they've been answering that question.
That's what I really do like how honest they're being with this set, and it really does show that Media Blasters
in general does region-free Blu-rays. So
yeah,
it
really does show that Media Blasters does care. They do care about the their products and the people and all that stuff.
They are a small company, but they are very dedicated to what they do. And I'm glad that this set's coming together. I'm happy they're doing a big premium package. I'm gladly going to support them on it. So hopefully, and that's the thing. Anybody that's like, that's too much money for me, I totally get that. That's totally fair. But I wanted to give everyone all the information about the set, all the details we have so far. And Cameron says, I hope they could do more of these. I mean, we're going to at least get the first and the next from them. And I hope maybe we could, I think Spin Dash recommended Amazon's to them to look into getting. Cause I think that kind of works with them kind of getting like the offshoot,
the
like
side
things.
Off, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and Jojo Story says, hey, good on them for doing that with the shipping. Yeah. And John on Twitter, John Sarabello, who owns Media Blasters, he runs their Twitter. He's been answering questions. So if you guys have questions, you can tweet at him and he should respond. So pretty nice. Pretty nice. So that's pretty much it on this blue news. You guys got any final thoughts?
No, I really
glad to see Zeto and Jay again at some point.
Because
I like Jay a lot. I don't remember Zeto.
Zeto's great.
Don't remember what happened in Zeto.
Yep, yeah, it would be a good time to watch him again. Ryan, what do you got? Any final thoughts?
I'm just glad. I'm just glad that this is finally coming out, and I'm really glad that they're allowed to be this open with this because it really just gives you more insight of the nightmare that is licensing from Toei.
I think what helps is, unlike Discotek or anybody at Shout, John owns Media Blasters, and John's the one talking about it.
Yeah,
it's kind of like when Brian Flynn talks about Super 7 stuff in interviews. He owns the company, so he knows exactly what he's going to say or not, right? He knows exactly, like John knows exactly what he wants to disclose and what he doesn't want to disclose. There's no question of, is my boss going to get mad if I say this? Because he is the boss, right? So, all right. It's time to get into Star Wars news because it was May the 4th over the weekend, and
I'm probably gonna head off now. I'm very head off now because it's
hear that, everybody. Ryan hates Star Wars and he's leaving us.
Oh man!
I just had nothing to say. I'm not a Star Wars guy. I like Star Wars, but I'm not a Star Wars guy.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
It'll be just me nodding my head. Pretty much.
Right. You might as well move on with your day. Plug your stuff though. Where can people find you?
Follow me at Dark Secret on YouTube and Twitter. I do arcade missions like the ones you see in this very channel. You want any, feel free to DM me on either Twitter or in Sound Cisco Protocol. Link in the description below. But yeah, hope you all enjoy talking about Star Wars. It's all about Star Wars.
See, we won't have songs without you here.
Here's have a nice night, everybody.
All right, see you, Ryan. Okay, so May the 4th was...
Get him, George!
Get him, George.
Get him, George Lucas.
Yeah.
May the 4th.
May the 4th was this past weekend, and the news...
Along with Comic Book Day.
Yeah, Free Comic Book Day being May the 4th was crazy for me. I went to the Phantom Menace on Friday, because I was like, I don't have time on Free Comic Book Day, because I was going to Free Comic Book Day, I had a friend who was doing a toy show, like, it's a crazy day. I had a crazy weekend. And I went and saw Fall Guy on Sunday. I had a very busy weekend.
Which one on Sunday?
The Fall Guy.
Oh, the Fall Guy, yeah. I thought you said the Falcon. I was like,
the Falcon, yeah. So, I think first things first, let's talk about The Acolyte, which released its final trailer for Season 1. I am so excited for the show. Holy cow.
It reminds me of the good Extended Universe stuff, like, back in the day, you know what I'm talking about? It kind of reminds me a little bit of, like, how, like, KOTOR could get away with being a little more serious and dark. And
Definitely, yeah. It has a different vibe than the movies do.
Yes, exactly.
My cards again. There we go. It has a different vibe. It feels fresh. It feels new. It's got Carrie-Anne Moss in it for at least part of the show.
Is it her or is it like?
Huh?
Is it her?
Yeah, it's her. That's her with the green lightsaber on the poster. Yeah. Oh, speaking of, I went and saw Phantom Menace, and they had a preview scene. They had a preview scene for The Acolyte at the end of the movie. Like, after Phantom Menace, they were like before the movie, they said, stick around, there'll be a special preview of The Acolyte. And they showed a scene from the first episode, and it was a fight scene with Carrie-Anne Moss versus this assassin character. And I was blown away, because the fight choreography was just super sharp, the camera work was great, the editing was good, and I was like, that is how you make a Star Wars show and make it look good.
You think Carrie had any input on it?
I think so. I think they were like,
hey, let me use my experience from working with Ping and all that, you know?
Oh yeah, because Jedi Master Indara's fight style is very similar to Trinity's style of kind of a lot of open palm and kind of deflection and dodging more so than like the frontal attack stuff, which is really cool. So I'm looking forward to this. It was so funny. The people sitting next to us in the theater had no idea there was an Acolyte preview at the end of the movie. And they stuck around through the credits because the lights hadn't turned on. And when they saw the Acolyte preview start, they just started freaking out. They're like, oh my god, I didn't know this was happening. And they were so excited. AMG Marco says, and you could actually see the fight scenes looking at you, Obi-Wan. Yes. The camera work, the editing, and the choreography were all in sync. Like, the good stuff. The good stuff when everything's in sync. Not like Obi-Wan where you're squinting, wondering what's happening. And it was cool too because it wasn't lightsaber reliant as well. It wasn't just let's swing our sticks around. Like it was, and watching it right after seeing like the Darth Maul fight from Episode 1 was just like a trip. I was like, oh, I see why they put this Acolyte thing with Phantom Menace. They're kind of similar in a lot of ways, which I think was cool. Yeah, no, it was pretty neat. I'm looking forward to this. I don't know. Do I have any other further thoughts yet? I think that's about it, right?
Are you asking yourself?
Yeah, I'm asking myself. Do I have any thoughts? Kaus, do you have any further thoughts?
Well,
Looks good, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I said, it reminds me of old extended universe, like KOTOR and stuff. Like it's the first KOTOR where, like, oh man, let's get serious. We're gonna have some cool fight scenes. Deaths can happen, all that stuff, you know.
Yeah. And Master Ben, it's
sorry,
that's
what I need to say.
Yeah.
There's stakes. That's what I like. I'm trying to think.
The best part.
Stakes.
When was the last time we had a Star Wars show with 0 characters that exist in any other media?
Yep.
There is no guarantee anybody will live or die, right?
Exactly.
Great stuff. Let's see. Master Ben asked, was Yoda a puppet or CG? It was the CG version. It's the version that's on Disney Plus, basically, just in the theaters. So it's the full extended pod race scene, and it's the CG Yoda, not the creepy puppet Yoda that stares into my soul. This, I will say, if you're on Twitter, prepare your bunker for the rage bait grifters to be out in full force because this is airing the same time as The Boys.
Oh boy!
I'm just gonna give you guys a warning that there's going to be a lot of rage bait people out there trying to go after this show because, oh my gosh, there's women and people of color. And The Boys is not
in Star Wars,
you know, right? In Star Wars, the franchise that's had
where there's always been
women and people of color. Exactly, yeah. I'm so excited for this, and you guys will probably hear me talk. If this show ends up being as good as it looks, I'm going to talk about it like every week, like I do X-Men. Very excited for this. So yeah, pretty cool. Invisible Ryan, do you have any thoughts on this? Master Ben asks. Invisible Ryan thinks it looks cool. Did everyone else hear Invisible Ryan, or is it just me? Excited for that. So. Now, as a surprise, we got a trailer for Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy, which is essentially our what if Star Wars project.
This
is
great. I'm not even a big Lego guy, but when I saw this I was like, no, I need to see this. I need to see this.
I remember in the Discord, somebody today said, man, you know, no matter what anybody thinks of Star Wars, everybody comes together and goes, man, Lego Star Wars is great.
Yeah, no, for real.
This, the plot of this is that someone rebuilt the galaxy wrong. And it was just, and Darth Jar Jar's real. That's what they used as the thumbnail.
Jar Jar, exactly.
Ahmed Best is coming back to voice Darth Jar Jar. Which is just amazing. I love that he has like a faded torso, like the paint's chipping and fading.
That's I know the dark side.
This comes out September 13th. And I can't wait to see it. I have watched pretty much all of these specials as they come out. They're fantastic. It's so funny because we talk about wanting a sequel trilogy show, but like the Lego Star Wars specials have given so much depth to the sequel trilogy trio.
Oh,
Because they just...
What's the name of the main guy in Lego in there? Bob?
Oh, Jedi Bob, yeah.
Jedi Bob.
Jedi
the
Bob.
fact that you can now say legitimately, remember when Jedi Bob fought Darth Jar Jar?
Yes.
And it not be a joke.
And that makes it, it's an actual thing. It is. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this. I'm hanging on my edge of my seat. It's so funny. I gotta tell you guys, the quality difference between Lego Star Wars and Lego Marvel. Because I watched the most recent Lego Marvel special. I'd never seen any of the other Lego Marvel specials, but I watched the most recent one, and I turned it off halfway through and came back to it like 6 hours later because I was bored.
Seen clips of it. Doesn't look as good.
It's not as good. The Lego Star Wars stuff just hits every single time. So good. Yeah, there's a bunch of Lego Marvel specials. I've only watched Code Red, and it was so, like, I just couldn't make it through it in one go. They were like, meanwhile, the Lego Star Wars ones have just been fantastic. All right, let's talk about toys. I'm gonna roast Hasbro, but not as much as I normally do. Surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one. Damn it! Now I'm quoting Phantom Menace. What has become of me?
Hello there.
Okay, so they had a stream on Friday, May the 3rd, because Hasbro don't work on Saturdays. Nor should they. They should be out enjoying Free Comic Book Day. So we had heard about this Retro Collection 6-pack. I already kind of talked about it when they pipelined it. I think it's kind of a bummer that Phantom Menace got a 6-pack, and then Attack of the Clones gets 3, and Revenge of the Sith gets 3. Like, why not 2 more box sets, right? But it's
like one more than the other.
Yeah, exactly. Like, clearly Phantom Menace, they had more ideas, right? But it's Mace Windu, Jango Fett, Padme, and then Anakin, Grievous, and a clone trooper. Yeah, I would have liked there to be like a whole set for Attack of the Clones and a whole set for Revenge of the Sith. So we could have gotten Dooku, and we could have gotten like Obi-Wan and Palpatine. You know, like there's a lot of gaps. This leaves me. If I was collecting the retro line, I'd feel a little cheated by it. Yeah. Anyways,
it's free. I don't understand that.
Right? Like they're not even that expensive to produce. They're like 5 parts.
Yeah, even if they did prefer Phantom Menace, why not just make full sets?
Yeah, exactly. In the world of 2 packs that include 1 named character and 1 troop builder, the Walmart exclusive Captain Enoch and Night Trooper from the Ahsoka series was revealed. I'm trying not to sound like a Star Wars marketing pitch when I read these things off, but anyways, this guy looks cool. He's got this like gold face thing going on. These are Thrawn's remnant forces. Now the Night Troopers, we say this is an army builder figure, but they all have distinctive looks in the show. It's not just one design copied over and over. They all like a little bit different because they've been surviving with Thrawn all these years. So maybe they will just do a bunch of different variants of the Night Trooper, but Walmart exclusives, so I'm not going to bother tracking it down. That's an easy pass for me. But you know what wasn't an easy pass? Because I didn't pass on it? It's Revenge of the Sith Palpatine.
Yes.
It looks great.
If when you get him, I don't know how, but you somehow get him in a video with him on your shoulder.
That would be fun. Just like Palpatine.
And just have like, have him talk to you. Good. Like,
embrace the dark side. This is the what I call the duel where he beasts with a short person. This is when he's fighting Yoda. This is his beef outfit. I like the way they did this. Plastic hood and cloth robe. I think that's a good mid ground because the cloth hoods are getting a little weird. I think it looks cool. Now, I was worried because a bunch of the pictures didn't have his head turned at all because of the articulation cuts. I was like, did they not make his head turnable? And the answer is no, they do make his head turnable. It'll probably be like Revan, where it's a little bit tricky to turn. But his head does turn, so he can do this, like, his iconic shot of lighting up the lightsaber thing. I think it looks great. I did pre-order him. I am part of the problem. Whether or not I will keep the pre-order depends on if he sells out. If he doesn't sell out, I'll just get him, later. But if he sells out, then I want to make sure to get him. Let me look at him. He looks cool, right?
He does, actually. Especially the cloth, except for, like you said, the hood. Like you said, it's a nice middle ground. I like when he's cloth like that.
Yeah, I like it
Makes it work
too.
better for him.
Because I have the Palpatine from the original trilogy that has the
Kind
cloth
of makes
hood
him
and
look
it's
more intimidating than it would be if it was
cloth. Yeah,
in a weird way.
I agree. It adds for more natural shadow. All right. In case you don't have Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon from Phantom Menace, I do, so this is an easy pass. They're re-releasing them with new photoreal heads in a 3-pack with a Darth Maul who's a brand new body, head sculpt, everything. And I'm like, oh damn, I like Darth Maul, but I don't really want to buy a 3-pack for $75 to get a new Darth Maul.
That's a lot of money.
If I didn't have any of these figures, I'd be over the moon. But because I have them, I'm like, cool, I'll pass. You know.
I have the old Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan somewhere.
Yeah, I have so many figures of Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. I like it. They recreated the shot of them between the barriers, like in that part of the fight.
They're waiting.
Yeah, this is a GameStop exclusive, which just seems weird. I don't know why GameStop would get this over, I don't know, anything else. It's not video game themed, which is usually what they go for. AMG Marco says they're going to make another mold to use the mold. Yeah.
If you think about it, right? It's not like,
oh, that's true.
People even go there to buy games anymore?
I don't know. Last time I bought a game at GameStop was months ago. I bought toys there recently. Like, I haven't actually walked into a GameStop in a few months, but the last couple GameStop orders were for X-Men Marvel Legends. So, yeah. Good point. Let's see. Shargo says that Mark Hamill's going to a con near him, which is awesome, but, it's not awesome as a $400 photo op. Yeah, I don't like the price.
$400.
$400 now. Just buy something else.
I'd rather buy. If I had them, I'd buy another PS5 or something.
Yeah, Scotty says we don't have GameStop, but when I'm out of town, I stop there for toys. Do they sell games? Yeah, I pretty much go there for toys too. I do say the packaging presentation is nice for these three. They do look nice that way. They're all packed in and stuff. All right. We complained that the only way to get a Super Battle Droid was in a 2-pack with a C-3PO head on the Battle Droid body, but now there is a single release Super Battle Droid. Whether this was peer pressure or this was always the plan, this is not battle damaged, whereas the one in the 2-pack was. So I don't know if I'm going to get it because I don't know if the legs are going to be sturdy or not. I need to look at some reviews of the 2-pack version. But yeah, you can army build your Super Battle Droids now. Looks pretty cool. All right. Point of contention. I did not want to order this 2-pack. This is Commander Gree and Yoda. I want the Yoda because the Yodas
I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I was just gonna say you when you see the one, I'm like, it's because you just wanted the Yoda, right?
Yep. I already have Gree from his earlier Clone Wars look. I'm good on Gree. This 2-pack, I was like, I don't want to spend $50 for this tiny little Yoda, right?
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what I was doing. But he does look really good, and he comes with his chair, which helps. That helps the price. That's what they did back in the Phantom Menace line. He came with his chair to boost up his price. And he's got his cane, he's got his lightsaber. Gree's got, his 2 weapons. Yoda comes with a scrunched up face head that makes him look like a puppet, which is really fun. And he has his lightsaber.
You want puppet Yoda again. There you go.
Yeah. I was like, okay, this... Alright, that's not what we're looking at. I was like, man, I don't want to spend $50 on this, right? But it is a Disney Store exclusive that is also sold on Hasbro Pulse. It's sold out on Hasbro Pulse. I ordered it on Hasbro Pulse because I was like, okay, fine. But it's not $50, it's $45. So that $5 discount, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll order it. that was what it did. That $5 off, just that did it to me, like I was like, oh, well, it's $45 for Yoda, and it comes with the Clone Trooper. Infinity War Tour, that's a good point. Hopefully they do make more council chairs. That'd be nice. Master Ben says I'll take the Gree if you buy it later. Tempting offer, because I don't really need the Gree as much as I want the Yoda. I do say, if we were going to put Yoda in a 2-pack, you know what would have been nice? Because they made that Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon versus Obi-Wan pack. Who should have been in a 2-pack with them, Jerry? What do you think?
With Yoda or Maul?
With Yoda.
What?
The guy that we already talked about, Palpatine. Why was that not the 2-pack?
Yeah, exactly, for the fight, right.
Yeah. Why was that not the battle pack? I get, though, that they just got me to buy a clone trooper, though, by not putting the
I
two of
love
them
seeing him
together.
jump around when he fought Palpatine. That was
Yeah.
funny.
That's why.
So
They made me buy a
I was
clone
like,
trooper
man,
by
he
not
got
doing
hot.
it. That fight was so iconic, though. I wish that was the 2-pack. Anyways, vintage collection, guys. You get a pack of 4 X-Wing pilots. And surprisingly, they're not just different humans. There's a couple aliens in here.
What?
Isn't that rad? There's like a, what are these guys? The Duros?
Yeah, I see like a
Green Lady.
oh
and
man, they have names?
I
I
don't,
was gonna say green dude and blue lady.
yeah. I think it's cool that there actually is, multiple species. It's not just humans, because I think you can distinguish them a little better. There's like a male human, a female human, a male Duro, and a female green lady. Where is Porkins is the question we've all asked. Yeah. But yeah, so that's pretty
Ever
cool.
made Dick's Wedge?
I think we've had Wedge. I think Wedge has been able to get. I know we have a Black Series Wedge. I imagine there's a vintage collection Wedge. Yeah. There was pipeline reveals, like they always do. The Black Series ones made me fall asleep. There is a Pulse and Disney Store exclusive Rebel Fleet and Stormtrooper 2-pack. Sounds great. Good Army Builder pack. They're going to redo A New Hope, Luke and Leia. That's fine. I just feel like we've done them too many times. But whatever. Maybe they'll be better. And then they're doing Dagan from Jedi Survivor, which answers my problem of why is the only character from Jedi Survivor we have is Cal Kestis, and then everything else is troops. Hey, that's like your lead villain of that game. So let's do that. Hopefully he has the articulation range, because I was kind of bummed out that that Star Killer doesn't have any torso bends, so he can't get into his iconic pose. But hopefully Dagan will be able to articulate correctly, especially because he only has one arm, so you don't need to use the plastic for the other arm. You can put it into some joints. Yeah. Anyways, thoughts on these? It feels like 3/4 repetitive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Luke and Leia one, like right, was that beat or?
I don't know. I feel we got them both twice already. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. In those looks specifically. Dagan's the one I'm excited for. So I want to see. AMG and Marco recently started playing Jedi Survivor. Yeah, that game is fun. I just wish it didn't take up 160 gigabytes of space on my PlayStation.
That's the only problem.
Yeah. All right. The vintage collection reveals, also not super exciting either. Anakin Skywalker from the Force Vision in Ahsoka. Cool, but that's a look we've seen before. It's basically the Clone Wars look. A 4-pack of Shriek Hawk Mandalorians, and I find it funny the only pictures we got of them are just them hanging off the side of a cliff. And then the Armorer Forge playset, which looks to be a re-release of the Armorer, but she comes with the big old forge as a Pulse Disney Store exclusive. I gotta give credit to the Star Wars team, because none of the other, like Transformers, when they do pipeline stuff, they tell you if something, like they sometimes tell you if it's an exclusive, like they did with Straxus. But with the Star Wars team, they put it on the graphic, so you already know if it's going to be an exclusive. And I think that really helps, because it puts context in. Like, oh, yeah, of course the Armorer Forge is not taking up like a retail slot, right? That's going to be an exclusive. So that makes, makes the reuse not feel as bad, right? So I like that. All right. Then randomly last night, for Revenge of the 5th or Revenge of the 6th or whichever day we're calling it, they put up a reissue of Emperor Palpatine and his throne from the original trilogy. It's going to be $45. So if you missed out on this before, get yourself old Daddy Palps. That's pretty cool. And then there is a 3-pack. This was pipeline before. 3-pack of a Magna Guard, a Super Battle Droid, and a Battle Droid from Jedi Survivor. Once again, oh shoot, I missed the obvious joke. Sutargo said, "Hold on." We got. Just ignore I said it that entire segment. Sorry. Restart. We got to restart. Reload. So somehow Black Series Palpatine has returned in his throne set, now re-released on Amazon. Second time it's an Amazon exclusive, and it's now $45. So if you missed it out the first time, it's a good set. I actually have this one because it's pretty nice, and he's got his throne. So pretty cool. And then also there's a 3-pack of droids from Jedi. I'm not redoing the whole thing. Anyways, the point is I had to do the obvious joke. But the 3-pack of droids, nice for your droid collectors. Not something I needed. But there you go. And then to round out our news for the day, there's going to be a new figure art. These are new figures, not reissues, of Darth Vader, C-3PO, R2-D2, and a Stormtrooper from A New Hope. Is there an anniversary coming up, like next year or something? Like, what the heck's up all the New Hope stuff popping up now? Anyways, the Vader's got like full soft goods from the shoulders down, which looks pretty neat. But yeah, that's our Star Wars news, and that's pretty much our stream. Satargo said Soundout's first retcon. Yeah, live retcon, guys. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I mean, I think the stream was good. There was a good mix of new stuff. There's a good mix of like redo stuff. Personally speaking, the Palpatine and the Yoda, of course, were what I was most interested in. That's the things I ordered. So, that's how it goes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. News time's over. I'll chat for another couple minutes here, but I do need to get going because I gotta watch.
Yeah, I feel you.
I gotta watch some Doctor Who, because you got very little time. Oh, Cameron Ritter says, how do you feel Kevin Conroy Batman and Mark Hamill Joker in Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3? Here's the thing. Anybody that's enjoying the Crisis Infinite Earths movies, more power to you. That is my favorite comic of all time, and every time I see something new from the movie adaptation, I die a little inside. So it's nice that they're doing that, but that's it. It doesn't excite me because I was kind of excited that Will Friedle was back as Batman Beyond for Part 2, and I saw a YouTube video that was every voice line of Batman Beyond in Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2, and it was like 45 seconds. So that was kind of a bummer, and I kind of, so I think the Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill thing is going to be, the Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill thing is probably short. It's probably quick, but it'll probably be a nicer final thing for Kevin Conroy than the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League ones. So that's that. That's my thoughts on it. If you're enjoying the Crisis anime movies, I'm not going to take that away from you. But as someone that lived and breathed that comic and has met the both creators of it in person to sign my original copy of how much I love it, the movie's not working for me. The movie adaptation is. So Scotty says Squadron Supreme 12 issue Maxi is my favorite all time. 1986. Read it. I haven't read it yet, but I'll put it on the list if that's good. I have a huge list of reading, so we'll see if I get to it. Stargo says, thanks for the stream, Santa. Help me get through laundry day and folding all our clothes. This and the Superman costume reveal made my day, so thank you for that. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear these streams are fun and entertaining for people. I try to get out of my own head sometimes when I flub lines or forget to flip a title card or talk too long about Planet of the Apes, but I'm glad you guys enjoy it.
Before you go, speaking of Planet of the Apes, check what I put in stream chat. It's a GIF I made.
Oh, I'm gonna see this. All right, let me pull this up. Stream chat. Oh, okay, yeah. I'll put this in the browser so everyone can see it. This is good. OBS. Click. Let me turn Star Wars off. Let's see here. All right, so Cal said in the chat, my brain when Soundout talks about all the Planet of the Apes movies. That's what I always thought, but somehow, check it out, Dad. I rented all your favorite gorilla movies. That's pretty accurate.
The pop and hail to the chip.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, after rewatching the first Planet of the Apes movie, I was like, oh, I see why they kept making movies. This premise is so strong, I'll watch anything with it. It's pretty amazing.
Did Charlton come back for? I forgot it. And I've seen them, but I forget if
Charlton Heston did come back for the sequel. Yeah, he did the second one. He didn't do any of the others. Ironically, Roddy McDowall wasn't in the second one, but he was in all the other four and the TV show, the live action one. Yeah.
Party at Roddy McDowall's house.
Yep. Let's see. Muteki says, MeTV or local broadcasting doing 24/7 cartoon channels. How does that evade FCC regulations on educational programming? I think those regulations just aren't enforced anymore because of streaming. I think they just gave up on that. Robot says, took me a long time to buy Jack's Sega figures. Also, what's your thoughts on the Gatchaman comics? I looked at them. I didn't pick up the free comic book day issue because I only could pick up so many because my shop had a limit. And so I had to be picky, and I was like, it's either Gatchaman or Doctor Who. And I like Gatchaman, but I'm really into Doctor Who. So that's kind of how it goes. But yeah, it looked good. I haven't read it. The Space Ghost, the Dynamite's new Space Ghost comic that that just came out was really good. The first issue was really good. It was kind of like darker, more serious, but I was kind of wondering if they were going to go more coast to coast tone, but they went with the original show, but like modernized, like modern sci-fi take on the original cartoon.
So that's interesting. And Dynamite always gets properties that I don't think they need have.
Yeah.
Like that.
And it's
I think they had
it's kind of funny because I don't really like Dynamite's Gargoyles or Thundercats comics that much, but I dig their Space Ghost and their Elvira comics are great, so yeah. Dynamite's interesting. They keep getting things. Cameron says, who would win, Spider-Man 2099 or Batman Beyond? Miguel's killed people.
Boy. Miguel has that extra...
He doesn't mean to. He doesn't go out trying to do it, but he's done it in a moment of necessity. I have not seen Terry McGinnis do the same. So I think that pretty much tells you their mentality and their mindset. Let's see. We need to talk Superman one day. We need to talk Superman. When I get the Superman Triangle Years omnibus in, I'm just going to talk about that for like 20 minutes on a stream. Be like, look, this is why my favorite era is Superman. Because I actually really like the Triangle Years in the 90s. Let's see. Ghost Straight says you're not getting the Super Battles right. Think of all the Battlefront 2 lines. Yeah, okay, that's a good point. Scotty says original is better. Coast to Coast was not for me. That's not a common opinion, but I've always said I like Harvey Birdman Attorney a lot more than Space Ghost Coast to Coast, even though I still love Space Ghost Coast to Coast. But I also really like that original show a lot. I love that sci-fi Silver Age superhero vibe so much. I like both. That's me a lot of things. I like both in a lot of situations. Star Wars Joints update. Yeah. So I got Black Series Hera, and which I said, oh, she has no thigh swivel. She doesn't. But then like the Ahsoka has like a crazy good thigh swivel that's hidden. But then I thought about it, I'm like, well, Hera's not really like a kung fu master, so it's fine. It's interesting what they're doing with the articulation. Cameron, I have never read the Archie Sonic comics, so not the person to ask about it.
Oh boy.
Stargo
there's
says,
a lot there.
Yeah, there's a lot. Stargo, it's kind of like the Doctor Who comics. In the back of the free comic book day issue, they're like, look at all the Doctor Who graphic novels from Titan. And it was just this like 2-page spread. And I was like, no, thank you. But this one with Missy, maybe. There was like one stood out to me. Stargo says, I'm happy Dynamite isn't focusing on TNA comics anymore. Oh, they still are. Oh, Red Sonja and Vampirella is still going strong. But I wish they'd do more pulp comics again. I do miss their pulp era. We need more pulp comics. Scotty got a huge haul of 40-cent comics on Friday. Nice. Wow, MJ Klein says, what about their Darkwing Duck comics? Do I be honest and say I haven't watched Darkwing Duck in full?
Well,
I like it. I just have only seen parts of it.
I was a kid. You're younger than me. I don't know if that would have been your... Yeah. I have a rare Darkwing Duck figure, apparently. I apparently, from what I saw, it goes for like $200. I'm like, what the...
Yeah.
Let's get Darkwing Duck.
SSJ4 Jason said the opening of the Coast to Coast episode, Conan O'Brien. God, that episode was great. Yeah, let's see. Marvel Legends movie Ghost Rider when? We better not get a Nick Cage Ghost Rider before we get a Robbie Reyes. I will slap something. Not somebody, just something. Like, it's just going to be like my bedpost, and I'm just going to be like, nah!
I've been there.
Yeah. Space Ghost establish own shared universe, other Hanna-Barbera parties. Same for Birdman. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Like, Birdman was not really connected to the other Hanna-Barbera shows back then, but then, like, Attorney at Law just made him the lawyer for everybody. See you later, Saturgo. I was glad you enjoyed the stream. I think it pretty much covers it. Jeremy Carr says, just curious, considering G-Bon, what do you think Discotek will release after that? Probably Shiter, I would take a guess. Cameron says, Ghost Rider animated series when? They wanted to do one in the 90s, and it didn't happen because of the Marvel bankruptcy. But if you watch the Ghost Rider Toy Biz toy commercials, some of the animation it's rumored that animation was supposed to be for that cartoon. That just never happened. Scotty says Robbie Reyes has a car. Have they ever made a 1/12 scale car? They tried. There was going to be a Haslab. There was a Haslab project that went up. It didn't meet its backer count for like a full scale Robbie car. I've been suggesting that they should do like how Todd McFarlane's McFarlane Toys does Batmobiles. Shrink it down, make it a 1-seater, just make it a little bit smaller and sell it like as an exclusive online or something.
I was gonna say, just make it smaller.
Yeah. Simple option, really. Future Quest was a great comic, Satar goes. Ghost Strange was watching the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Series Season 3. That's pretty awesome. Thanos Copter would be fun.
That'd be awesome. I'd love to have that.
Yeah. Let's see. SSJ4 Jason says, funny thing about Coast to Coast that the episode Baffler Meal was an appearance of the Aqua Teens. Oh, I forgot about that, yeah. Pretty fun. Let's see, Scotty says, I had all the toys in the 90s, assumed the cartoon was out, never watched it. Yeah, Ghost Rider appeared in like all the other shows too, like as if he had a show. It was kind of like Captain America was doing that too. But both of them were supposed to get shows, it just never happened. 3.75-inch figures is a good way to do vehicles, I think, for sure. I do think though that if you scale down the car, it could work. Cameron's watching G1 Transformers first time. That is a wild show. That's a good time. All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up because I need to go get to dinner with family. Because while my mom and I are trying to catch up on,
like, I'm literally thinking.
While we're trying to catch up with 13th Doctor with my mom, we're gonna start my dad with 14th Doctor for like the next to lead him up because so he can see the new 15th Doctor stuff because he's looked interested in it. So we're gonna do that. So we gotta start the rewatch of the 14th Doctor tonight just to kind of acclimate him into the new Doctor Who stuff. So it's almost 6 o'clock my time, Miteki. It's a little bit late.
Almost 8 mine. I haven't eaten since breakfast.
Yeah. Oh, Scotty dropped a short today with a Tomart's action figure magazine showing off Toy Biz figures. That is pretty cool. Guys, go check that out. Jeremy Carr says, thank you for the stream. Be seeing ya. Kaus, you're streaming tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/fighterkaus for King of Fighters, right?
Yeah. If you told me if you're not there, I might just do some ranked matches or something.
Yeah. I may not be there tomorrow because I gotta, take care of some personal matters at the same time. Just happens every once in a while, so there'll be good stuff. I'm going back to the movie theater tomorrow night for Gundam Seed Freedom, so wish me luck there. I'm currently one of 8 people going. There's not a big crowd for Seed Freedom here, but yeah. So that's good. Oh God, I just realized I've been to the theater every other day.
Wow.
Friday I was at the theater for.
I wish I could go to my theater.
Friday.
I don't even care what movie I'm watching sometimes.
Yeah, you just want to go to the theater, right?
I just want to be into those seats.
Scotty, no, the Gundam Seed Freedom's doing a 2-day Fathom event in select theaters in the U.S. with Tuesday being the Japanese audio with English subs, and then Wednesday being the English dub. So, you have no theater. That's sad. I love having movie theaters because I love movies. Probably too much, but that's me. But yeah, I was at the theater for Phantom Menace on Friday, and then Saturday was for Comic Book Day, and then Sunday I went for Fall Guy, and Monday I'm here, and then tomorrow I'm going for Gundam. I was gonna go to the English dub, just for the heck of it on Wednesday, but I was like, it's either I go watch Gundam Seed or I watch X-Men 97 with the family, and I was like, no, it's X-Men, so I'm gonna go to Gundam on Tuesday. So I didn't decide sub versus dub based on preferences. I decided it based on what day it was airing. So, anyways, we'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, same bat show format. Probably maybe with more Apes talk. I might do a tier list since the new movie will be out and stuff. And Jerry and I can talk about the original films and go how awesome they are and things. So we'll see y'all next week. Go check out Kaus's stream tomorrow. And yeah, enjoy the videos this week.